If I told you the things I've seen on my ways, if I told you the things I've done in my days, you wouldn't believe me anyway. So it's best I just don't say. I've lived 1,000 lives, I piloted 1,000 souls, I killed and fought and died just for a single role.
Hey! Hello, everyone. Even though I had a ton of time to prepare, I am not prepared. So, welcome to Happy Jack's actual play. This is Pembrooke Investigations, lovingly shortened to Pembroke, as you can see. And today we will be playing our first session in this world that we are crafting on the fly. Hopefully you joined us for session 0 and you have a little bit of information about all of these wonderful characters. And with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to them while I figure out the rest of what it is I need to contractually say. So, Jay, let's go ahead and take it over. Take it over.
All right. Hello, everyone. This is Jay. I'm here playing Benton Ailes, an Undead Investigator. It's a sort of homebrew that Nick and I built called a Revenant. So he was a guy who did some things and then died and then rose again to do more things.
This is the best character backstory ever.
Tell the character backstory, make it boring. That's my thing. So
I love you, Jay.
New challenge.
And that's it. That's it for me, I suppose, for now.
Great. All right, let's go on to Blythe.
Hi, I'm Blythe Kayla, and I am playing Analia Torres, is it Cambrion? Yeah. No, Cambion.
Cambion. I think some of our notes actually have that erroneous R, so we'll take care of them.
That's all right. I forgot my own race. This is going so well. I am playing a Cambion who is an awkward, quirky engineer who is very good with computers, as we established just before this stream.
Yep.
Great. All right. And Emily.
Hi, I'm Emily Vanderwerf. I will be playing Zoe. She is a Fae. She is perhaps fated to destroy the world, and she's really good at hitting things.
Fated?
I'm
so funny.
And last but not least, Jason.
Oh, that's me. Hi, I'm Jason. I'm playing Silas Silvestri, magical detective, not at all like any other wizardy detective archetypes that you may be thinking of, with very popular novelizations. I literally got halfway into character creation and realized what I was doing. I was like, well, F it. I know what I am.
I'm going to steer into it.
But also, it's worth noting my character is a satyr, or fawn, if you will, and so has furry goat legs, and yeah. Also, in the grand tradition of characters being changed from pilot to actual start of season, he's a wizard. He wasn't. If you tuned in last time, he wasn't a wizard 2 weeks ago, or last week.
He was specifically not a wizard.
Right. In fact, had resistance to magic, and it's now like, no, give me all the magic.
Then the studio notes came in.
Yeah, they were like, can you magic this up a little bit?
Yep.
Yeah, we've got a character for that. Did that not come through?
And that's all I have to say about that.
Cool. I am the game master for this game. I will be playing everybody else. My name is Nick. I am on the socials at Sungrowler. You can follow me. Today, in fact, I posted a little question asking for the name of a bar where wares hang out, and I got a number of fantastic responses that all blew my garbage idea out of the water. So I will be using one of those. If we end up going to or hearing about that bar tonight. Maybe we won't, but in any case, it's in my campaign notes, so it's canon now. No take backsies, Twitter.
My character just turned 21, so we are definitely going to that bar.
Oh yeah, it's like National Werewolf Day or something. So obviously.
The other things I do want to just go ahead and make sure that I hit is that this again is session 1 of Pembroke. And this is a Savage Worlds actual play on the Happy Jacks RPG network. You can catch our session 0 on happyjacks.org/Pembroke, or find all of our shows on the Happy Jacks network at happyjacksorg.shows. If you want to go ahead and take a look at that, please do. I will beg you not to tell me about it because I babbled. And I don't need you to tell me because I already know. But feel free to go ahead and check it out and maybe get an idea of what the system's about and what all the characters are about as well. So, I believe that we are going to be beginning this episode here on Falafel Friday, which is the day that Dame Helen Mirren provides lunch for the office. She is not in the office today, but she always makes sure that when she is on set or away, that it is still filled, because morale is important, and these tiny little team building things, these little bennies, these little perks for everybody, just kind of make the workplace a nice place to be. So, how does everyone take their falafel?
I think.
I mean, I get it. I get it wrapped up in a pita. Analia gets it wrapped up in a pita with lots of tzatziki sauce and some veggies. Like, there's also the pepperoncinis with it. She likes it pretty spicy. Trying to think of all the veggies you normally get with a falafel, and I've eaten so many falafels in my lifetime.
I'm trying to think of how to turn it into a party falafel, and I'm not sure. I know there's something.
Salsa. You put salsa on it, and Analia stares at you like, "What are you doing?"
Oh yeah, that's good actually, because I'm also somewhat unplugged from like normal human behavior. Salsa falafel.
Falafel salsa.
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 It's awful.
Oh yeah, thank you. That's where I was headed towards.
Wait, what was it?
I wasn't going to be able to say it.
Salafel.
Thank you. Yes.
I think. Go ahead.
Nope. After you.
I think Zoe has a pita that she's put like a little dab of hummus on it, and she calls it falafel because she grew up in the suburbs and doesn't actually know what falafel is. So she just thinks it's like sort of a general word for all food at this restaurant. So, yeah. But like she's like a little frightened of like food that's not just the pita. So she gets the pita and it's like, I love falafel.
Don't we all?
Oh my god. I think Benton has a bunch of lamb in a pita, just dry. It's just slices of lamb, of shawarma, a big pile of it. That's it.
So I don't think that Benton needs to eat. Does he just do that to feel part of it, or is this a specific?
Yeah, I think he still wants to fit in and feel sort of human. So that's why, and lamb is good,
right?
And this is normal. This is what people eat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Still, yeah, people still eat this, right?
Well, yes.
So Analia is the only one who eats like a normal, eats the falafel the way you're supposed to.
Yeah.
Nope.
She's just like, what do y'all do? Okay.
All right. Well, it sounds like everyone is having a lovely meal, recapping how their week went, any cases that you wrapped up, all of the other table talk, and anything else. Anyone have any big plans this weekend?
Do we know it's Emily's 21st birthday? Or yeah, do we know it's your character's 21st birthday?
Oh yeah, it happened shortly before the game started, so it's like
Okay.
within the last month. But yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So, well, Zoe, do you have any big plans for it's your 21st, or you just turned 21? So like, what are you
Yeah.
planning on doing?
I'm gonna go out with my boyfriend David, and we're gonna go to a nice fancy restaurant, and they have line dancing there, and I'm very excited to see it. The waiters line dance for you sometimes.
This is a fancy restaurant?
It's very fancy. They serve you free peanuts. This is my favorite restaurant.
Huh.
That what?
Will there be a
Oh,
lot of people
it sounds really fun.
You guys don't like free peanuts? Free peanuts are really good.
It's not the peanuts.
Yeah,
there?
sure.
I mean, I like food and but this is probably just a thing for you and your boyfriend, right? That you weren't inviting us. See, this is where I miss things sometimes.
No, please don't come. Oh my God.
I see.
That would be so awkward. I don't want work friends at my date with my boyfriend, David. David's my boyfriend.
Why haven't we met this David yet? Like, I feel like we
Yeah.
hear all about him, but he's never like stopped by or.
You know, this is all a little weird. It'd be a little bit much for him. He's a rugby player, and I don't know if he could handle it.
Oh.
Do they have rugby here?
They do at my school.
All
at
right,
Grantham.
it's a very good school for rugby.
Mhm.
I've heard much about it. My daughter spoke about it a lot.
It's primarily
the-
a rugby school.
They're like the 10-year rugby champions, but it's because like there's only one other school that has rugby. So
Hey, everyone around here knows about the Covenant champions.
I don't know very much about
Including
sport.
my notes now.
That's good. I like that.
Great. So, in the middle of discussing Zoe's date and why David is not often seen locally here, Terry comes in with the mail. Hey, everyone, mail call! And
Oh.
he walks around and he drops off a bunch of flyers for wow, I just totally blanked, for Silas.
Oh,
A lot of like computer ads, a lot of like mailers you may have won, you have qualified for,
yeah,
etc.,
They're
etc.
trying to get me. I'm hip to these tricks. I know what's up.
And he brings a class registration booklet, the registrar's booklet, drops it off to Zoe, walks around, comes on over to Analia, and actually has looks like there's a couple of bills. Water and power might be due. That they're coming to your desk, and walks by Benton, gives him a little wave, and starts his turn to go. Oh, save me some of that lamb, would you? You know it's my favorite.
yep. Nothing for me. Huh?
No mail for you.
Yep, that's all right. It's fine.
I'm sure we'll get you in it tomorrow, big guy.
Yep. Sure.
Is there a problem? I mean,
No,
I can-
nope. It's not your fault at all.
Okay, I'll keep my eye out and make sure that everything comes to you.
That'll be great. Thank you.
Great. So he takes back off to the front office, and then in fact, as soon as he gets to the desk, the intercom goes off, and it's Terry again. Hey, hey everyone, there's someone here to see you. She doesn't look like. Oh, there she goes. Oh, hey, you can't. And banging on the office door.
Oh well, this doesn't sound good.
Oh boy. Okay.
Who wants to open that?
Not it.
Not it. Nose goes.
I'll go.
Are you who? Open up. You can't keep me out of here. I'm a tax-paying citizen.
We're not a government organization. Okay.
Yeah, we're privately run.
But okay.
Yeah. So wait, are we all still? I might have missed a step here. Are we in the lunchroom?
We're at our. I think we're all at our desks. We just got our
Yeah.
at our desks.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
I
I
see.
was imagining it was just kind of like a desk spread.
Copy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though the restaurant's just downstairs, we got Postmates delivered.
Of course.
Yeah.
Dame Helen Mirren doesn't want you wasting your time going downstairs to pick up food.
I mean, just the amount of time that would be spent on who goes is.
I think that was probably like a really long argument and a productivity issue, and finally she just settled it by saying, "Fine, I'll just have it delivered for you."
Yeah, that kind of tells you everything you need to know. So I guess I'm gonna go out to the lobby, and right, or is it? Wait, what? I don't know. I guess I missed which door.
Don't worry about it. She's. It sounds like someone's banging on the door to your communal office.
Okay. The office where just the four of us sit.
Correct.
I see.
If you don't open this, I'm coming in anyway.
All right, I'll get up and
the
open
handle
the door.
starts to jiggle, and just as you get to it, the door is swung open, and in front of you there is a woman about 5'5", red hair, dressed rather conservatively, but has grayish silver skin. And she storms into the room and says, I'm sorry, and says in a faintly Irish accent, which I'm not going to attempt to replicate because my Irish accent is more in the flavor of Lucky Charms than...
That counts.
do you want me to?
It's totally up to you. I will enjoy it either way.
Sure, and this is Pembroke's, isn't it? I pay me taxes for access to here, and I demand that you do something about my husband. And that's enough of that.
We're not a tax-run organization. You have to pay us as a client to get things done. So if you filed with Terry, filled out the paperwork, we will get the request for your case.
Yeah. I do every month. I put money aside. It goes to the retainer in case anything's needed.
So did you fill out the paperwork with Terry?
I
don't. What's your name?
Time for.
I don't know if your name is. Let me check if your name's in the system.
Oh, I got this one. Do we need to pay you in Lucky Charms? Is that what we need to do?
Oh, boy.
And she says it like she talks very loud to you, a little bit rude. Well, everything she does is a little bit rude, but yeah.
So at the door, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to be exasperated, but if you have an action here or something you want to say, go for it.
I was going to indicate that I bet we have like a couple little chairs with a like Keurig sort of thing, like basic.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I was like, well, why don't you come sit here while my colleague, indicating Analia, is looking up your records, and why don't you tell me a little bit about what's happening here. And also out of character, do I recognize the species of this like silvery gray skin?
Are you trained in medicine?
No, but I'm trained in the occult.
Okay. Is anyone trained in medicine?
Nope.
Nope.
Common knowledge. Weird
All right.
science.
I will give actually weird science a straight up roll. I'll give common knowledge or the occult at a -2.
Minus
I'll
2?
do
I'll roll
Weird
that.
Yep.
science.
Okay, so can you remind me how to roll?
Yeah.
Sure. So you're going to take whatever skill you're rolling at, whatever the value is of that die.
Uh-huh.
You're going to roll that die, and you're also going to roll a single d6.
Uh-huh.
If both of them are d6s, make sure you can tell which one is which.
Okay, now I have an 8 and a 6.
Okay. So that d6 is called a wild die, and that can go ahead and succeed on this roll as well as your regular skill die. Only one of the two is going to count. They are not additive. You just get take whichever one is best.
What are we aiming for?
The target number for most things in this game is a 4.
Okay.
So essentially, the people who have a -2 need to roll a 6 or higher.
Was there
And
was there
and lastly, I was just gonna say, and lastly, always remember that your dice can explode. If you roll the highest number,
Oh.
you get to roll it again and keep going until you don't roll the highest number.
Okay. Was
did
there
not roll
also
well.
something about rolling ones?
If you roll 2 1s, that is a
Oh.
critical failure,
No. I have
and something fun will happen.
I have a 1 and a 13.
Okay, fantastic. So that's all that matters.
13.
Yeah, I got an 8 on my D8 and it exploded to a 5.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I rolled a 3, so I don't
Okay.
know anything.
Gotcha.
And
So
a 1.
Okay, so it's a little outside of your expertise. You don't immediately recognize. And then Jay, you were also rolling.
No, I was not rolling. I'm not
okay.
very smart. So
Okay.
no.
Silas, you recognize that this is a skin condition that is caused by subcutaneous silver,
Mm.
and it is commonly used as a lycanthropic cure.
Is that an effective cure?
It is.
Oh, okay.
It is also an irreversible cure that anyone who has used colloidal silver in a prepared tincture for the amount of time that it takes is no longer able to change. They are still biologically aware,
Mm-hmm.
but they no longer have to fear changing or having any sort of things like that. So it affects the life in some ways. It changes the life in other ways.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So she pushes past you and says, "Fine, if you need me to cool my heels, I'll do that. But you just had better be ready to help when we're done with this. My name is Brigid Falid, Falede. Don't blame me. It was one of your intake officers back when my great grandfather moved here."
Mm.
Hour? So I'm going to look her up in the system and see if I have any history on this lady.
Yeah, with her name, you're able to come up with an account number with Pembroke's, and sees there is a retainer that has been paid monthly in order to help out with any sort of issues that occur in between Brigid and mortal authorities or any other things that need to be investigated. On there, premiums have been paid back for many years, so nothing seems wrong there. Anything else specific that you're looking for?
Just like if she's had any cases with us previously, because none of us recognize her. So it's just like, is this something? Has it happened recently? Has she been handled by somebody else?
A few years ago, there was some noise complaints. There was a minor infestation that was resolved, but nothing that has required a major input. No major confrontations that you've seen.
Okay. So I turn to Silas and I'm like, she's good. She's reliably paying us and been a client with us for years. She seems to be good, to be clean. She seems to be telling us the truth.
Well, I had assumed so.
Well, you never know.
I beg your pardon. Of course I'm telling the truth. What do you think I would have come in here if I was just some Yahoo off the street?
You kind of barged in.
I mean,
very
we do
abruptly
have some normal ways of doing things, but that's all right. I mean, everyone has a day once in a while.
When your husband's been missing for the better part of a week, then you can tell me about having some days or having some problems.
No. I understand, and I would like to hear more about what's happening. What can you tell us about your husband?
My husband's name is Willem. We don't share the same last name. His last name is Nickerson.
What was it?
Nickerson. Willem Nickerson.
Willem Nickerson.
And he's gone missing since the previous Sunday. The last thing I know is he went out to his job, and then when he never came home that night. And I tried to go to the regular authorities, and I had to wait until it was long enough for them to be able to file a missing persons. And then they did nothing. They've made no investigation. They haven't talked to anyone. The attitude was completely dismissive.
That sounds about par for the course for the police.
It was right to come see us, and we'll be happy to find out more about this. Where does your... Oh, sorry, out of character. Did she say where he worked?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
So if you're asking, could you tell us where he worked?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
He works down at the bar shift change.
Oh.
He plays piano.
Okay.
And that's the last place anyone saw him.
That's the last place anyone saw him, but they won't talk to me.
Right. Yes, I understand. Trust me, you don't have to explain. Is your husband lycanthropic?
I suppose you could say so. He's... Not that it matters all that much, but he's a wolver.
Okay.
And people with Fae background, or anyone who has a cult, I will let know. People with Fae background, I'll just give it to you. A wolver is a Scottish wolf person that are known for being benevolent and non-violent.
Oh,
for the most
interesting.
part,
Okay.
on there.
Wolverine? Like a
No.
Wolverine?
No, a wolver.
This is all new for me. I'm so sorry. And like Zoe's like eating a bowl of cereal because the whole conversation has made her very hungry.
Put down the falafel and have a bowl of cereal.
Mhm.
No, not that bloody comic character. A wolf man.
Oh. Well, why didn't you say so?
I did, if you were listening.
You know, these really are magically delicious. Congrats to your people.
Is this the kind of respect and attitude that I can expect? Because this is no better than the bloody cops.
Oh.
No, we will look into it. We are. Trust me, we are much better at investigations than
Yeah.
the cops.
Yes, Zoe is one of our finest investigators.
What was Brigade's last name again?
Brigade's last
Falid.
name is Falid, spelled Falede.
Thank you. Well, Ms. Falid, you can rest assured we're going to look into this, find out what we can find out, and I assume our contact records are probably up to date, and we will let you know as soon as we find something.
Well, I should hope so.
And is there anything that you need while you're here?
Besides my husband,
Well, obviously that. If there's anything we can provide you, or I'd be happy to walk you to the door as well.
We have falafel. If you're hungry.
So he holds up a single pita. Falafel.
Like, and Analia has been kind of like cutting into hers with a fork and knife so she doesn't look as like ridiculous trying to eat it.
I didn't come here for a brunch or buffet. I came here for my husband. And if you have information, you know where to reach me. But I expect you to be able to find him. He needs someone to look after him, you know.
Why is that?
Why is that?
Yeah.
Because he's a big softy.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Fair enough.
It's a dangerous place.
Okay. Well,
Is that all?
I think we have enough to go on. Are there any other details that we need, Analia?
Well, I have her information. Have you ever registered your husband with us, or has he done anything with us, or has it just been you under your name?
He is listed on the account as like a not a primary, but like I don't know if you've ever done like a AAA where it's in one person's name but someone else can use the card and everything.
Yeah. Okay. So he's on our. Okay.
I love that we're the AAA of occult investigators.
Just like, well, I have your husband's information here. We'll start with his workplace. We'll contact you if we find anything.
Do you think there's anyone like who might have wanted to hurt him or do worse? Because I can punch him. That's a thing I can do.
I can't imagine that anyone would be wanting to harm my Willem. He's the kindest, gentlest soul you'd ever meet.
Well,
Always looking out and doing good things for people. It's frankly a bit maddening sometimes, but there hasn't been a person that he's met that in need that he hasn't tried to help in some way. I can't imagine that anyone would want to do him harm.
Did he try to help the wrong person, perhaps?
Well, if I knew, I wouldn't be here now, would I? I'd be confronting that person and punching him.
Have you seen him interact with someone who...
And she nods over at Zoe with the punching.
Yes.
Yeah. Just, have you seen him try to interact with someone who was not receptive to his help?
There are some people who find him to be big and scary and make assumptions and will act aggressively. But usually I'm around to help out if anything like that should happen.
Was there anybody recently?
Nothing springs to mind. No.
Okay.
Well,
he's been working at shift change for well over a year. He's liked by the people there, although they don't like me. But there hasn't been any trouble. Once he proved himself to that crowd, he was not any difficulty at all.
Who's the person he works with that he talks about the most, either because he thinks they're great or because he hates them?
I don't think Willem hates anyone and has a hateful bone in his whole body, but he has talked several times about Corey, the bartender, and there was someone who gave him some trouble early on, but they became acquainted with each other. A man named Nemo.
Mm-hmm.
Nemo. Okay.
All right, Corey and Nemo.
Okay. Well,
Excellent.
I think this is plenty to go on. Hopefully he just got wound up in the wrong thing, and we'll collect him and get him back to you as soon as we can find him. So why don't I'll walk you out while my compatriots here are getting ready to get started, and we'll just make sure you have everything you need.
All right, and if you get it as soon as you get the information, you'll contact me.
Oh yes, of course.
Of course.
Ideally, we'll just bring him to your home, and then everything will be resolved, and we'll just have our paperwork to do.
Ideally, yeah.
Well,
And she starts stalking towards the door.
yeah.
And,
Well, I'm gonna go with her and sort of walk her out. And
Yeah, but she, like, there. If you're hoping for a little bit of conversation or comfort or anything, and honestly, she. How does Silas sense emotion?
yeah, I was thinking about that.
Is it a taste? Is it a smell? Is
I
it just a feeling of satisfaction?
No, I think it varies. You know, and I think it's a lot easier to pick up from a group of people, because then it like mixes together and it's not just the one thing. And it's almost I imagine getting a real strong emotion from just one person is kind of like, oh, that's overwhelming and very personal. And like, you know what I mean? Like the conflict of wanting to be around people and their emotions, but not one person and their emotions, is the struggle that he's in.
So this is akin to brain freeze.
Mm.
This is a very strong anchor that you're sensing.
Yeah, that's understandable. And like, to be clear, Silas wasn't like trying to hit on her or something. That's
No. I'm just giving you.
Yeah.
Giving you what Silas gets
Yep.
as she stalks towards the door.
Yep,
on
that's
there.
fine. I just wanted to make sure she actually left the building. So,
Right. Terry goes, "Oh, have a nice day."
Yeah, no, Terry. She's not having a nice day.
She throws her hair and slams the door open.
Yeah.
And leaves. What is? I mean, everyone should have a nice day, right?
Well,
I mean,
so Terry,
it's just I want to make sure that everyone knows that I wish them well.
Terry, it's fine, and you're doing a great job. But most of the people who come in here have a problem that they're very concerned about, and so there's like a tone shift here that maybe is discomforting for some people.
Point of order.
Yes.
We're all agreed that she did it, right? Like, the Lucky Charms thing, she did not get mad about that at all. And she probably gets that all the time and probably gets really mad about it. So, I think she did it.
I think we need
Besides-
more information to go on, plus new locks on our doors.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the wife always does it. That's all I'm saying.
Statistically speaking, it is
Yes.
likely to be someone that they know very
It's,
well.
yes, usually the domestic partner. I know that because I took Intro to Criminology.
Well, right. Very
I hope
good.
everything is because I took X101.
That is what they would say in Intro to Criminology. Yes,
Yep.
that is. Yeah.
Classic 21-year-old occult detective. Am I right? Oh well. So when I go back to the office, so I know you had plans tonight, Zoe, and you're certainly owed a drink, but perhaps we should get your drink at shift change tonight and start our investigation. It's already been a number of days, and the trail has probably gone cold, but we have to start somewhere.
You guys want to meet David? Can he come along?
Sure.
Sure.
Yes.
Great. I'll
Maybe-
just give him a ring.
Yeah,
I
that'd
mean,
be
if we're
great.
all there,
Yeah.
I mean, we're all there. We can. Yeah, he can come along.
Yeah,
It'll
just
be safe, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Is he familiar with wares at all? If they had a
Oh.
wolfman working at this bar, you
Just-
might want to warn him
just
that
a-
this might not be normal.
yeah. Is he
Oh
mortal?
no, he's a nice boy from Providence, Rhode Island. He doesn't know anything about wares.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
well,
Well, then it should be easy to keep under wraps.
yeah.
Yeah. I'll just tell him to respect the ware community, and like he'll do it. He's a nice man. He'll
All
do
right.
it.
All right.
Just you're gonna be watching him the whole night.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just text him real quick. Okay, he's in.
Great.
That's good. I've been looking forward to meeting him.
I have too, actually. This will, I mean, it's not exactly what we had planned, but like, we can still all, hang out.
Just don't be
Yeah.
weird, okay? I really like him. Don't be weird.
I'm never weird.
How are we weird?
Yeah. None of us are weird at all.
Like I have a spoon with my like banana boat falafel and salsa. How is this weird?
I say this is like I have fangs and like get way too cold in this office and have no pupils. I'm like, what? How am I
What?
weird?
Yeah, no. I'm undead, and everyone can tell, and no one likes making eye contact with me. Nothing weird about that at all.
Could we get a refresher on everyone's physical description? Because I don't think I have a clear
I think
image
that
of
sounds
everyone.
great.
Who wants to go first?
I basically have modeled this character in my mind after Idris Elba in the Dark Tower.
Oh yeah.
That's the image here behind me for those who can see it. That's who it is, but you can't see his head because I don't want to have you to choose between looking at Idris Elba and me because that's not going to work out for me. So
I mean, he's gorgeous. But
Yeah.
also
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
I think that's the problem. Is I would just end up with double vision
yeah, oh, you flatterer.
endlessly.
But yeah, so that's tall black guy. But as I said, we talked about last week, revenants make people's minds go weird because they can tell that I am not supposed to be here.
Oh, like an uncanny valley in person.
Exactly. Yep.
Go ahead.
Analia is like she's kind of she's got no pupils in her eyes, so she just has like solid color eyes. They're black. She has fangs. She has claws, and her skin is kind of like a reddish, like it's kind of reddish colored. And it's like almost normal, but you can tell something's just like a little bit off. It almost looks like a human skin tone, but something's just not quite right. And yeah, she's constantly freezing. And I was gonna go no horns, but I'm gonna she has like little devil, like little horns.
Nice.
And
Like
long dark hair.
nubs, or do they like curl, or
They're like
stick
little-
straight out, or
They're like the little tiny, like the little horns that you would see on, like they kind of curve and they're a little pointy.
okay, got it.
They're very small. They're not like tiefling giant horns or anything.
Right, they're Halloween headband devil horns.
Like
But,
they're just kind of
real.
so.
Uh.
Sometimes she'll lie and say they're a headband, but most people know she's not telling the truth.
I think like she has a headband that's got two little circles cut out of it that she just
Yeah.
puts on over to hide
That's
them.
what she would do for Halloween. She'd be like just pretending to be a devil. Other days she's tied him up in buns, but now she's much more comfortable with it.
How tall is Analia?
6'3".
Oh my.
Okay.
She's very tall and like kind of lanky.
I had seen that. I just wanted to make sure that everyone had that in their mind.
That's very helpful. Thank you.
I saw a tweet on Twitter that called me out the other day that was like, do you make all of your female characters tall or are you straight? And I was like, wow, I've been attacked.
Zoe looks pretty much like a human, but I mean, obviously you all would see the tells. She's a soccer player, so she's got an athletic, muscular build. She's 5'10", so and she has kind of long, straight, silver blonde hair, and piercing blue eyes and extremely pale skin. Everything about her looks like it would burst into flame if the sun hit her just so. And she's always wearing something branded with like the college, because she's very proud that she goes to college.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a city college? Is it a state university?
It is a private university. Grantham University was in the Ivy League, but they got kicked out.
Grantham House.
Jay, did you say how tall Benton was? I missed it.
Like 6 feet.
Yeah.
So not as tall as Analia.
Yeah.
Oops.
No, it's fine. It's fine. He doesn't have an issue about that at all. Nope, it's fine.
It's totally fine.
I always have a personal thing where anyone describes their character as tall and then says, like 6 foot, and I'm like, cool. So I'm just over here in the half giant land. Got it.
Dear listener, Nick in real life is very tall.
He's very tall.
Very tall.
I'm not NBA tall.
I'm short, so.
You shouldn't give personal details out on the internet, but I think it's fairly common knowledge. I'm 6'6". I've made jokes about that before, so yeah, it's one of my sticking points. Also, like whenever an RPG will say, "Oh, the obese hindrance, your character is over 300 pounds," and I'm just like,
no,
cool,
lots of
love it,
people
thank you.
That's
great. Anyways, enough about how I get upset online for nothing.
No, that's here for
Jason,
it.
I think we need to see
Sure.
what Silas looks like.
Yeah, I think Silas is not. Well, I mean, he's just unimaginably short at like 5'9".
Wow, I felt like, what am I then in real life?
That's it. But yeah, I think he's a little bit shorter. So 5'9", a fairly narrow build, and he I did have somebody ask, like, wait, is he like a pantsless satyr? Like, no, he wears clothes, like normal clothes.
Damn it, I drew him with no pants.
Oh, wait. Oh, that's really good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, it might have been that he just threw something on to answer the door and didn't realize.
Trench coat.
But see, pantsless with trench coat is relatively problematic.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was trying to go. I was going for detective.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I like
Oh,
it.
boy.
But yeah, no, he wears like slightly baggy pants because his knees go the wrong way. Well, he's digitigrade. He has knees, but they're way up here, and his ankles are out here, and it's I mean, animal legs. So and he has hooves, black hooves, and for some reason I've been picturing a lot of the like parts of him that are like his legs are covered in like kind of woolly hair. It's black bordering on almost like purpley black. As is his, like, he's got sort of short cropped hair. He also has little nubbin horns, but they're like much more, they're not like curvy and spiky like a demon. They're just like little nubbin goat horn. Also, as opposed to like big old ram's horns curling back, which is also cool. Yeah, he's about that size, relatively slight, and I like the trench coat idea. I'm stealing that. And he always has lots of things in his pockets, just like a random thing of like, oh, we need a whole box of Kleenex. Here you go. That's that kind of stuff. And I think he's probably got some like chops. Oh, it's probably a whole beard. Yeah, I remember now. He has a whole beard with it's longer than mine. It's like a whole beard that comes down to a very sharp point at the bottom. So,
Great.
Yeah, I think that's it.
So that actually reminded me. I am going to talk about bennies here for a moment because I'm going to award a benny to Blythe for the drawing that inspired Jason saying trench coat plus no pants is problematic. And Jason, please also take a benny.
Oh, okay.
The way that Savage Worlds works in order to help protect your characters and make sure that they can do awesome stuff is that you have these bennies, which can be used as re-rolls for various things, typically for things like trait rolls. You can also use them to soak damage when you get hurt. Since you don't have a lot of times you can get hurt before you're incapacitated, the bennies help you be awesome despite that, while still maintaining combat that can be dangerous and fast and not have to keep track of 7,204 hit points and blah, 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 things like that. So at the beginning of each game, if I don't mention it, everyone can go ahead and take 3 bennies.
Oh.
So you will start each game session with 3 bennies. And then more can, of course, be earned throughout play. As I said, on session 0, making me laugh is great. Or if you do something that is totally committed to one of your hindrances, or as an awesome emotional moment, or it is an awesome combat thing, or, I want things to be fun and cool, and when they're fun and cool, I want to keep that going. The other thing that I did say in session 0 is I'm likely going to get bogged down in my notes and trying to keep track of enemies you might be fighting, or making sure that whatever crazy thing you just did is gonna work in the story, or how I'm gonna work with it. So I might forget to give out bennies even if you do something cool. So there are also 2 table bennies, and the table benny is if something awesome happens and I didn't notice it, I want one of you to say, hey, I think that was a great job, grab a benny. So that I want to have some out there to help remind me, but also so that you guys can reward awesome things that I might have missed because I was in my own head on there.
Okay.
Cool.
I think that's a bit. I think that's it about bennies. No one has any edges that affects them right now that I'm aware of, and nobody has anything that is powered by them that I'm aware of.
Well,
so
it's important to know that
I
I have the attractive edge, and that is appropriate all the time. Finally.
Of course, yes.
I'm pretty. Sorry.
That's okay. So where were we? I think we were discussing. Everyone was still at the office.
Yep.
Talking about people being weird.
Mm-hmm. But I think we were packing up to go. Did I? Oh.
I believe
Yeah,
so.
no, I think we're packing up to.
We're gonna go check out the shift change.
Great. So quick question. Like, I know how everybody kind of dresses. A lot of you have things like weapons or strange tech or something. Do you have any particular way that you carry those? Like, you walk around strapped, or everything's in a duffel bag, or do you leave it in the car until you need it? How does that work for everybody? Now, I have a
backpack.
Okay. And that contains the baubles and the gun?
Yeah, and like some of it has like the backpack has little attachments, like a little quick attachment thing that I can like grab in and out of very fast, but only I can get into it.
Okay. one thing that I'm going to I want to say is that the Pembroke badge, which you all have a copy of, generates a low, in the great Douglas Adams phrase, an SEP field, which stands for someone else's problem. So you're not invisible and you're not disguised, but most people will just kind of not pay attention to you unless you make them have to. So as long as you are not in their face, you are someone else's problem, and you can kind of slide by certain situations. Now, that's not going to work on like a receptionist whose job is to make sure you don't walk just straight past the office. It's not going to work in a station house, again, where people are paying attention to who's going on and whatnot. It's not an invisibility cloak, but it does mean that, for example, if you're walking around with weird tech or horns or whatever, you're not going to get stopped on the street and people are going to be like, WTF all the time on there. So we're just going to kind of slide by that with the badge. However, that is linked to the badge. So if something happens to it, if you retire from Pembroke, if your wallet gets stolen, or however you wear it, then that might become a problem at some point in the future, since not a lot of you are walking around looking 100% stock human.
Yeah. Okay.
Does that sound reasonable for everyone?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think I keep most of my weapons, like my look is with the long leather coat as my like one piece of sort of armor and gear, and all of my sort of weapons, sort of shotgun and gun and all that are tucked inside.
Cool. Okay, so you do what when you are out and about, you walk around strapped all the time.
I am, always ready.
Okay, great. Someone in chat actually mentioned something, re-bennies, which I think is a fair point. Emily, because your Lucky Charms comment was so, what the fuck am I going to do with this? Go ahead and grab a Benny for that as well. So,
Thank you, chat.
People watching at home or listening at home, I'm not always going to do what you say, but that was a good point. And it did throw me for a loop, so I feel like I have to reward that because it was good.
Did it throw you for a Fruit Loop?
Yep.
Ooh.
Don't get greedy.
I'm not expecting anything. The opportunity was just right there.
Okay, just as long as you're not expecting too many cheers, yo.
No, my jokes expect groans. I'm fine with that.
All right, so everyone decides to go ahead and get ready to head on out and go over to the shift change. We have not talked about transportation. So I know that Zoe has a bicycle, but I don't think that all four of you are going to fit on that.
No.
Just you wait.
That is going to be a scene where we've got one person on a peg on each side, one on the handlebars, and someone pedaling down the middle.
Dibs on handlebars.
Did anyone think that they own a car, or that they have a certain way that they get around?
I mean, I feel like having a company car isn't unheard of for us. I mean,
yeah,
I think the city's pretty walkable overall. I feel like Covenant's not like it's pretty walkable, but when we have like bigger cases, I feel like we have a company car.
Helen Mirren gave us one of the stunt cars from Fate of the Furious. Can we drive around in?
But put the engine in it so it would work.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Okay. Out of curiosity, did anyone actually take the driving skill?
Was that on there?
But it was, I didn't.
I'm just asking. I don't think anybody did.
I don't even have the common knowledge skills,
Okay.
so I
How did you wait? No, I thought you were supposed to get common knowledge.
no, it's part of being a satyr is we don't get common knowledge because we're from elsewhere.
Could I use the common knowledge skill to drive?
Well, here's the thing. I'm not going to say that you don't know how to drive. If it's reasonable and you think your character knows how to drive, that's fine. You can get behind a wheel. You can operate a manual or an automatic, whatever you're comfortable with. However, if I ask for a driving check for some reason, you're going to be making that at an untrained roll.
Mm.
So you have, you have enough common knowledge that it's reasonable that you understand how to do this thing, but you do not, for example, know how to stunt drive or how to react if someone started shooting at you or things like that. So I'm not going to penalize you for you don't know how to open a door because you didn't take the opening a door skill. But I just want to be
I've played at those tables.
Well,
This isn't second edition
D&D.
Yeah.
Okay, so we
you
all
took horse riding? Well, this is a mule.
Oh.
I feel like the only one of us who doesn't know how to drive is Silas, because you don't. I feel like that would fit your character.
Yeah, I see how to drive, and I'm sure that I could. But, I mean, Silas is sure that he could drive. Me, Jason, is also certain that he cannot and should not. But he's constantly asking if he can drive this time.
No.
All right.
We're working on it.
All right. So as you exit the office, Terry goes, going out on a call. Who needs the keys?
Oh, I do.
And he holds them, and he starts to throw them.
And I will grab those. Thank you very much.
Okay, so Benton snags them out of the air before they get
Yes.
I will get them.
to Silas.
You will not. No, Silas.
It really doesn't look that difficult.
It's
It's a lot more difficult than it looks.
It really is.
It's not that bad, honestly. You could
gives
probably
me-
figure it out.
It gives me a lot of anxiety.
Thank you, Zoe.
I tell you what, you and I are going to go to a parking lot someday, and we're just going to practice. You'll get the hang of it in no time.
Okay, I like that. Though I do like when we get stuck in traffic, there's this buzz all around us of just like pent up energy.
Yeah, I'm not ever
That's
trusting you to drive.
That's not a good thing. The buzz, that buzzing noise when you're that's bad.
No, I have a really good sense of what's happening around me, what everyone's feeling.
Yeah.
Benton, you drive, please.
Yep. We will handle this. You and Zoe can practice, and then eventually, yes, you will be able to drive. Yes.
You can also pay for driving lessons. Those are a thing.
Yep.
Well, Zoe offered to teach me. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's going to be great. And
Can you ride a bike?
yeah.
No, Silas.
No.
Yeah, I can teach you how to ride a bike, too. I can teach you all kinds of
The
things.
hooves. No. Bicycles are a nightmare. This is the in-character. It's like, no. Bicycles
Oh, yeah.
are
Chains,
nightmares.
And the fur. And
I don't know why anybody rides them. They were invented by the internet. Nobody should be using them.
Okay.
We just have to get you the those clips, like the professional bike riders. They've got
Yeah.
like the little clips. I'm sure we can find some to mount on your hooves. You just click
I
in.
tried one time. It was just slipping all around the. No.
They weren't invented by the internet.
No,
Were
they
they?
weren't. They weren't.
Well, I don't know if that can be proven. I saw them on the internet before I saw them anywhere else.
They existed before the internet, I promise.
Well, I'll have to go to the library.
The library will tell you they existed before the internet.
Well, all right. But you get most of your information from the internet. How can I trust that?
I read books too.
Oh, I didn't. Well, you never mentioned that.
I had to learn. I don't just learn things from computers. I've set foot in a library many times.
Look, we can swing by my grandparents' house. They have the full Encyclopedia Britannica from 1986, and I'm
Ooh.
sure it has an entry on bicycles.
I bet
so
it does.
We can. If they have one from earlier, it'll have an entry on bicycles.
Great. So I think you're able to pull up to shift change without any problems. I'm sure you got the address in the hand wave montage of the information that you got from Brigid. You pull up as you get to. It's not in a great part of town. So you're actually starting to drive through areas that are kind of warehouse district, big brick buildings. More trash and garbage than you might expect to see on the edge of the streets. Things are a little bit of a disrepair. Not the sort of place that you would think that you would want to spend a lot of time after dark in, but not like, hey, you're going to get shanked for a nickel if you walk down the street. But everything is just a little bit shabby and in disrepair. And Benton, you actually almost drive past shift change at first because there's just a tiny sign that's sort of down halfway down an alley that indicates where it is. Like you do the thing where you're driving and your GPS says, "Oh, you're here. Oh, you passed it," and then you're like, "I didn't see a thing. Where am I actually looking?" You turn back around, and you see it's down this little alley, and there's a tiny little sign above a metal door, and some stairs that head down. Only about like 10 feet down, and a little metal sign that says shift change on it. It looks like at one point it might have had. Oh,
We lost Jay.
we lost Jay.
Oh no. Okay.
I'm sure he'll be right back.
Well, everyone lean into the nearest window. Oh, there we go. I was Emily for a second. It was finally
Who are you
mine.
now? Are you back? Is it back to normal now?
Yeah.
Am I Emily again?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Worked hard for it.
Cheers.
So you can see looking up at the sign that at one point it had neon that spelled out shift change, but that has been broken and it just has like the little tubes, the holes where the tubes would have gone into along the sign, and it's just been sort of painted in that area where the neon would have been to say shift change.
Is it fixable or is it like completely broken?
There's no glass tube sticking out of it, so it might be fixable, but there's no it's a starting from zero sort of situation.
Did we spend the rest of this session trying to fix this sign? Because it would be really beautiful for them to have a neon sign.
Yep.
I'm in.
Listen, if it was fixable, Analia was going to fix it.
What a team building exercise, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't take this repair skill for nothing.
I think also to add to Silas's car skills is he pretty much immediately falls asleep as soon as we get in a car to go somewhere, which also adds to how easy he thinks it is to drive a car. He's like, well, this can't be that hard.
Close my eyes and I open them and we're there.
Yep.
What's the big deal?
That's what I'll do when I'm in the driver's seat.
All right, so we walking in?
Yeah.
I suppose.
All right, it's about I'm gonna say it's about 3 in the afternoon at this point. You guys took a little bit of a late lunch and then headed over here.
We were supposed to pick up David. Oh, shoot.
Oh, I thought he was meeting us here.
And we were supposed to pick him up. You know what? I'll just give him the address. I'll just drop a pin.
I could take the car and go pick him up.
No, you cannot.
Do you want to?
No.
Okay.
I signed the car out, so now I'm responsible for it. So now, no. No.
Benton is the best driver here. So.
Am I? All right. I might have to take an advance.
Gives me anxiety.
Yeah.
Does Analia have hooves?
No.
No. Okay, just me.
No. Just you.
Yep.
Clip clop.
Clip clop.
So
So the alley, like the rest of the neighborhood, the alley is a little bit dirty. It's not like mounds of trash piled up in the corner, but there's there's a dumpster that doesn't smell great, and there's scraps of paper that have been and food wrappers and things that have just been left to blow wherever they did, uh, and variously stained with grease and whatnot through the area. And you walk down about halfway through the alley, and the entrance down, it's about 6 steps down, and like a metal railing along the side, like bars, like pipes, and then the metal door of shift change.
Mhm.
There's no signage indicating whether it's open or not. What would you like to do?
Knock.
You knock on the metal door. It feels solid, and it kind of gives a little bit. The door opens out, so it opens towards you, but you like as you knocked on it, it kind of like went in like it's been closed but not latched.
Oh.
So I'm gonna open it.
All right. You open the door, and as you come inside, it is dark and dingy. This place is certainly a dive bar. As you walk in, kind of a scarred wooden floor that looks like it at one point it had been painted black, but has been kind of scuffed through from people walking around on it. The tables and chairs look kind of secondhand. There's some wooden pillars that are holding up that go floor to ceiling in there, and there's kind of a main square room, and then offset there's like another slightly smaller square room as well. So it's all one open space, but kind of like a lumpy L.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Off to the side, and then there's a bar in front of you, about, I don't know what a good distance is, but a good distance for a bar from you, that's scarred, and there's a mirror on the back that looks like it hasn't been cleaned in many years, and a bunch of half-full bottles of brands and alcohol that you mostly haven't heard of. Scattered throughout the room, there are a lot of patrons who are kind of rough clothing, rough talk. They're almost all big and muscular, although there are some that are kind of whip thin and sharp looking. Looking around, and as you open the door, a couple of tables stop and stare at you. It's a little difficult to see because you're coming in kind of out of the sunlight, even though you were in shade from the alley, but down into this dim area where there isn't really a lot of ambient light that's coming through. So some of the chatter or conversation has stopped. A couple of tables are kind of looking over at you.
Well, hello. This is nice.
I'm gonna go get a drink, I think, because I can.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get a drink.
That's an excellent idea.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk over to the bar. Silas, just don't start anything,
Nope.
please.
Hello. And I'm like greeting each person. Like, hello. Hi. And make my way to the bar.
There's a bunch of grumbling, and one guy looks like he's getting kind of mad. Another guy just puts his hand on his shoulder, and they quiet down and grumble. Behind the bar, there's a large, burly woman, muscles on muscles, short cropped hair, kind of a ruddy complexion. She looks at you and just kind of grunts. What do you want?
I'd like a small, good whiskey, please. Just like a shot.
Do you have Smirnoff Ice?
Oh boy.
They still make Smirnoff Ice.
Yeah. Yeah.
In this universe, they do. So.
They do. No, they
Yep.
do. They
Yeah,
still
I'm
do.
pretty sure I've seen it.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm in a long running game of icing with a friend, so unfortunately I do know they still make ice. Not to serve. What are you doing here, One Eyes?
Right.
You all know that that's a somewhat derogatory name for Pembroke, based off of the badge with the single eye.
Oh. Sure.
All right. I mean, no reason to be hostile.
Actually,
Well, that depends on you, doesn't it?
Are you Corey?
Yeah. What's it to you?
Brigid Falid came into our office asking about her husband, Willem.
Have you seen Willem?
She makes a like a harumph and shakes her head. No, I haven't seen him in like a week. If he doesn't show up soon, he's going to be out of a job.
So that's kind of the problem. He seems to have gone missing.
Yes.
Missing?
Yeah, he apparently he came in for a shift a week ago and hasn't returned anywhere or shown up in a while.
Did anything of note happen during his shift?
Yeah.
Last Monday? No, he was here playing the piano like normal. I do apologize because I did forget to mention in that little small side room, the smaller square room, inexplicably in the middle of this sort of dingy and beat up old dive bar, there is a nearly pristine black baby grand that has a like grungy and worn velvet rope that goes, a little velvet rope that goes all the way around it, and a little sign that says, for professional use only. It is completely out of place here. Looking at it in terms of it's well kept, it's clean. There's no dust on it. There's no
not like
rings.
Some stand-up honky-tonk piano. It's like a...
No, this is like a baby grand.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, what the hell is this thing doing here? It looks like Jessica Rabbit should be laying across it and singing.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, now... Okay.
Did you say Monday? Was the last time you saw him?
I think that's what she said.
I said that, but that was a mistake. I did mean Sunday.
Okay.
Which is what I said previously.
Okay.
That was just
I was all like,
Ooh.
bingo,
Gotcha.
okay, so
Nothing special happened on Sunday. He came in, he did his set. There were some people, looking around asking about him, but
What people?
just some guys.
What guys? Have you seen them before? Have they been back in?
Can you
No,
describe them?
I see a lot of people. Definitely mortals.
Mm-hmm.
Have the vibe of kind of hangers-on, maybe.
Uh-huh.
After they talked to him for a little while, they took off. There weren't any problems. They aren't exactly my type of clientele, so I didn't expect to see a lot of them here.
Corey, I get the feeling that you don't like Willem very much.
What gives you that idea? I think he's great. He's the best thing that happens to my bar.
do you not like Brigid very much?
Her complexion darkens, and she glares at you. No, I do not like Brigid very much.
All
Why is
right.
that?
Have you met her?
We, uh, uh, we should probably talk about this after we leave, Analia. I should have mentioned it before.
Yeah, you probably should.
Mention.
Yeah, we'll talk about it outside. When
Just like, well, is it a?
Listen,
I mean,
Willem's a great guy. I love having him here, playing. I didn't think that I was going to end up running a piano bar in Covenant, but it's ever since he took over. I mean, look at it. That's his pride and joy. He loves playing here. The patrons love it. I'm not much of a music lover myself, but he's great for business and a sweet guy.
do you mind if we take a look at the piano?
As long as you look with your eyes.
well, I mean, it's probably been a while since you've had some music. You wouldn't want me to play a couple songs?
What kind of songs are we talking?
Any kind of song you like. I mean, I don't know every song ever, but I know a bunch.
Jump in.
Emily, we didn't. You were muted. Well, I don't know. I just saw she was talking.
Is that better?
Yes.
Yes.
I know Jingle Bells.
I'm interpreting Silas's performance skill as like he grew up like pick up an instrument, play it, like anything goes, like yeah. So
Okay.
he actually can play the piano, but that doesn't have to be where this goes.
Corey looks at Zoe and says, "Sweetie, does this look like a kind of crowd that wants to hear Jingle Bells?"
And she looks around.
I
mean, some of these people are probably elves, so yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that just killed me. Go ahead and grab a bed on that.
If you didn't give it, I was gonna.
Oh boy.
Benton
Hey,
is dying.
Corey laughs and she goes, "You hear that, boys? She thinks you're a bunch of elves." And there's a bunch of rough laughter and, pointing and pounding of arms and stuff.
So would you rather I not play it's fine either way.
I mean,
Look,
it might be good to get.
If you're auditioning, that's fine. If Willem doesn't show up, I can use another piano player, and I wouldn't, I don't want to have to wait for it.
Wait for it. Sorry. It just goes off.
But if you scratch that piano, if you do anything to it, I'm not going to hear the end of it, and neither are you.
I wasn't going to play with my hooves. Yeah, well, I'll go take a look at it and see what happens.
Is a Nemo? Is he coming in today?
It depends. Are you asking?
Well,
I'm sorry. It depends. Why are you asking?
there was mention that maybe Willem and Nemo at first didn't quite get along.
Yeah, Nemo had a little bit of beef. He's the kind of guy who's got to be the biggest and the toughest in a room. And when he met Willem, he didn't take it so well.
What happened?
Willem played.
And Nemo was fine suddenly?
Not suddenly, but he saw Willem was no threat. That Nemo was still the biggest, baddest guy in the bar.
Nick, is there a skill for telling if someone's lying?
Yeah, what would that be? Notice?
Yeah, probably notice and opposed by anything like deception or spirit or performance. I'll have to figure out exactly what that is.
Sure.
But yeah, I assume you want to see if Corey is lying.
Yeah, if that's all right.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I don't like in games when someone goes, "Hey, I want to see if he's lying," and there's an opposed roll, and that immediately makes you go, "Hey, even if I failed, now I know he's lying." So whether or not Corey is lying, I'm going to roll dice before I tell you what the response is, and that way we're going to end up with some form of parity.
Yeah.
So some form of fairness on that.
Yeah, don't even tell us what you rolled, because then we won't know if we've succeeded or not. That's fun.
Exactly.
Yeah. I like that.
Now, the other thing that I'd like to do is, since this is technically an opposed roll, what we're going to do is, once you tell me your total, I'm going to ask if you want to. If I'm going to ask if you want to spend a Benny and re-roll that, or if you're happy with your total. And then once you have that option, I also have that option.
Mm-hmm. My favorite D6 went missing.
I also have notice, so I may roll on this as well.
Cool, please do.
I'll roll, but it's
all right. Well, this one's my wild die, my masks die.
Cool. I trust you.
Nope.
I got double sixes.
Okay, on a D6 on D6s?
Yeah.
So it sounds like those explode.
Oh, does the wild die explode too?
Yep.
Oh my.
Your trait dice always ace.
And follow up with snake eyes. So 7s.
Awesome. Okay, so
hooray.
So 7. Blythe, this is an opposed roll. So unless you rolled a critical failure,
I rolled 2 2s.
Great. So you have a 2, 7.
I rolled a 9.
Okay. Is Benton taking a notice?
I'm not. I'm going to take a notice, but I'm not actually paying attention to Corey. I'm scanning the bar to see who's acting shifty.
Fantastic. Love that.
And so I got a 6 on the wild die and a 3 on the regular.
Okay, so if you roll a 6 on a wild die, that's an ace. So roll it again.
I got a 5.
Okay, so an 11 total off of that wild die.
Yep.
Excellent. I'm going to come back to you in just a moment because I want to get everyone else who's paying attention to Corey first.
Sounds
Here.
good.
Okay.
Corey seems mostly on the level. There is something that she's not comfortable talking about, but doesn't seem as though she is deliberately hiding something, just not entirely being forthcoming on there. So not I would say you get the sense that she's not deliberately misleading you, but there are things that she might not want to volunteer.
Okay.
Benton, as you look around the bar, there are there's a couple of singletons, but there's a couple of tables that are full of people, and they are one of them especially is heads down, muttering at each other. You can see that there's like the occasional gesture in your like a nod or something towards your cluster at the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, and I want to address something else in the game which I had forgotten to mention previously. When you have a target number in the game, whether that's an opposed roll or whether that is a value of 4, which is normal, or someone's toughness, whatever that value is, they're beating that number is a success. Meeting or beating that number is a success. If you get additional, because dice can explode, if you get additional increments beyond that, those are called raises. So if you have a target number of 4, in this case, like to look around the bar like Benton does, with an 11, that means he got a success and 2 raises, which means he's going to get a lot of good information about what happened because he has done a really good job at noticing. In the way that the opposed roll goes, it would be 4 above the value of the roll, just the same way any other target number would work. And I have a quick raise calculator that I can share with you, although it's mostly on my side, just to know how successful a particular action is.
It's by 4s, right? Like every 4 over the...
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
You got it.
So if your target number is a 4, then 4, 8, 12, etc. Those are going to be the marks that you want.
Right.
But obviously that's going to change for values like toughness. Now, in an opposed roll or in toughness, it's still by 4. So if the number you're looking for is 7, then you're like 7, 11, 15, on and on and on there.
Got it.
So you're seeing that there's one group, Benton, you're seeing there's one group at the tables who are really kind of given you guys the hairy eyeball here. There's a lot of muttering and a lot of sort of pointed and like calm down gestures and stuff like that. And you actually hear one of them talking about strike and a closure, and now these Pembroke's assholes are coming in here to roust us and things like that.
Strike, you say?
Is that in character?
That's no. That's
okay.
A little of both. I don't say it to them. It's sort of under my breath.
Okay.
So I'll sidle sort of vaguely in their direction just yet, just sort of keeping an eye on them.
Okay. Would you make me a stealth roll just so we can see? Ooh. Yeah, I don't think you're slipping into the shadows, but just sort of hey, I'm casually getting into a little bit more ear range.
Stumbling over bar stools.
Right.
I'm just sort of like edging slightly away from my group while they're all talking to Corey. Let's see, that is not as good. That is a 3. Is the top one. I got a 2 on the wild die. So
okay.
3.
So the best you got is a 3?
Yep.
Okay. So a 3 is not a success. And we will come back to that in just a moment. I want to see what everyone thinks about Corey not being 100% forthright.
Did all 3 of us, were we able to acknowledge that?
Yes.
Okay. I sort of assumed she wasn't telling us everything, and I'm not that fussed about it. I just wanted to confirm. But I'll say, Zoe, should we go take a look at this piano?
I'm going to see if I can figure out what this lady isn't telling us.
Okay, well, I'm going to go look at the piano while you're doing that.
Yeah.
And then we'll get more done.
Perfect.
All right. Zoe, let's stay with you for a moment. Okay. Since we were over by Corey, you guys sort of have that sotto voce, I assume. Kind of like, hey, I'm gonna stay here and talk to her, and he heads off to the piano.
Yeah.
So Corey is a couple feet away from you, across from the bar, and just sort of looking in the direction of Silas walking over to the piano and making sure that he's not gonna fuck it up with his hooves or anything.
I have a really good persuasion, so I feel like that is the approach Zoe's going to take. She's really good at persuading people. This is not a person, or is this a person?
Everyone's a person.
Wow, that's really true. I learned that in Intro to Sociology. Um, yeah, so I think she's gonna sidle up to the bar, order just like the cheapest beer she can find, and just like sit there and start talking about her problems with her coworkers and all this stuff, and just be like, you ever had issues? You ever just want to talk about stuff? And like, there's a thing about her that is inherently like enticing in terms of, oh, okay, yeah.
Okay.
I want to talk to you. Yeah.
Are you using your, like, as I understand you're using persuasion as
Mhm.
part of this? Are you using your kind of fey leech nature?
I had believed this to not work on non-humans, but we can totally do that. And yeah, a little bit. Yeah, just topping off.
Just like reaching out to see if it's going to work, because you don't have confirmation one way or another whether.
Okay. Yeah. I think cool. I'm gonna see if I can top off a little bit. I'm still pretty high, but the tank, you can always fill the tank.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So it sounds like your approach is kind of to order a drink, just be one of the folks, and commiserate, and just see if you can get Corey talking.
Yeah.
That's an accurate
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Summation? Okay. So go ahead and roll persuasion for me.
Okay.
And we'll see how well you do and see how well this approach works.
Where did I put my rolling pad? Here it is.
Hey, I'm a world-weary 21-year-old college student just like you.
Yeah, I am going to say that this with this approach, you are going to be at a little bit of a negative, because Corey doesn't see you as sort of the same clientele that she normally serves.
Well, I'm
So
gonna
it's a little bit like Jason was saying, you're acting like,
no.
life's so tough.
Don't make me the kid who asked if we have homework this weekend. That's not on me.
I'm gonna spend a Benny because I did not roll well, even though I was using a D10. So
Okay. Hey,
you know.
it happens. So once you get your total, I want you to subtract. I'm just gonna say one from this roll.
Okay, so if I roll the same on both die, nothing happens, right?
No, unfortunately, you don't mark experience or gain a threat or anything like that.
I rolled
that's somebody else's game.
I rolled a 3, so I re-rolled and I rolled a 2. And I rolled them on both die both times, so I'm cursed.
That's actually really impressive.
I think that means you get to add them all up as your total.
What happens is Zoe just proceeds to get kind of drunk.
Hey, this beer is kind of good.
Yeah. Have you ever tried this? Bud Light? It's good. Hey, Silas, have you ever tried this? It's good.
So Corey is not forthcoming on this approach. You got a lot of like, yeah, Bud Light's great.
You've had it? Oh, it's good.
On there, Silas. Blythe. So you understand what happened here, since you were gone for just a moment.
Just need some water.
Not a problem. We all have bodies, and we all gotta make sure that they stay on this plane. Silas, after sort of getting the idea that Corey might not be saying everything that was on her mind, Silas went over to the piano to start taking a look at it and see if he was going to play. Zoe decided to stay and try and talk Corey into divulging what it is that she was hiding, which I think you heard the results of. And so you are also at the bar currently, unless there's something else you'd like to do.
she wants to inspect the piano, like thoroughly inspect it, but she doesn't want to piss anybody off. So she's gonna let Silas handle that. Then she's gonna just be like, she's gonna order. There's like a very specific thing that like half demons and demons really like. It's like a fiery, warm alcohol that I'm trying to come up with a name for.
Is it Campari and Fireball?
Kind of, but sure, it's that, but not called that.
Did someone say Hellion?
Hellion whiskey.
Hellion.
Campari.
Is that it? Yeah, is that an actual brand, or are you just?
I don't know. That's just the first word that popped in my head.
No, it's the brand now. They started calling it Hellion as like a joke.
All right.
So she's just like, I'll order a glass, a Hellion, of Hellion, on the rocks, please. Actually, no, wait. What am I doing? She hates ice. No.
Why did you put ice in this?
I'll take it neat.
I said on the rocks, not on the ice. Jesus.
Neat. That's what it is without ice, right?
Yeah.
You order it neat.
Yeah. I want it on lava rocks. Jeez. You don't know how to serve a Hellion whiskey.
People just don't understand.
Nobody ever has the proper way to serve. It's supposed to be served on fire, but no one ever serves it that way.
Love it.
Corey, looks you up and down, and then turns around and gets a dusty bottle of Campari and a well drained bottle of Fireball. Like clear, and you see there's some other like full bottles of Fireball. Clearly, it's something that is served in her bar quite often. But the Campari, not so much. And she pours them for you, and it's actually surprisingly good. I think it might be because everything was at room temperature, which is as close as you were going to get to anything that wasn't. It's as close as you would expect someone who doesn't make this for real to have gotten to it.
Yeah. She's like, you did a good job. Thanks. Like, trying to pay like a compliment. Like, this is good. Thank you.
She kind of grunts and nods, but like seems a little bit pleased. Like, hey, you did, thanks. But not wanting to be, but not, effusive about it.
Yeah, no, and but the tip jar, like, Analia always tips well, like that. She's like very big into this, but she makes sure to like put a really nice tip in there.
Sure, you gotta stoke the good karma when you might be ending the world.
Yep.
Jason and Jay, I am going to let you two decide where we go next here. So which one of you two wants to take the lead here? Because I'm not sure the order in which these things are going to go through.
Yeah, I think Jay might be closer to his target. Like I don't have a good idea of how far away the piano is, but
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I can go. Yeah, because they're a couple tables over, right? They're not like tucked far into a deep corner or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like they are in a corner of the bar. Like if you were to look around and have said, if I was a group of conspirators, what corner of the bar would I go to? That's the corner that they're in.
Yep, got it.
On there, there's six people who are all burly, dressed in rough kind of workman's clothing on there. You can tell that they've got calloused hands, well-worn work boots. Everything about them screams that they are people who work in a demanding physical environment for a long time on there. So as you kind of sidle up close to them, you're doing okay, but you missed a beer stein that was on the edge of a table, and bumped it with your elbow, and it kind of rattles and doesn't fall off. But the noise is enough for the two of the guys who are on the side that would be facing you to look up from the huddle, and one of them glares at you, and the other one goes, "What do you want?"
And I'm definitely gonna loom over them now with my best looming skills.
Okay. Did you take intimidation? By the way,
I oddly did not.
Okay.
Take intimidation.
Oops.
Whoopsie doo.
So
cool.
So you complete the last couple of steps. It's a round table. Against the wall that the two guys are looking up at you was a bench, but the other three guys who had their backs to you but are now turning to look are on bar stools. The bar stools are mismatched, slightly different heights.
Yeah.
But oddly, it works out because the people are also different heights, so they're all at about the same level. And they kind of turn and look at you. What's your approach? What are you doing?
Let me see. I mean, I did take intimidation, but it's a D4.
Okay.
I didn't bump it up any higher. I look at the biggest guy. I look for the biggest guy here.
Okay.
And I'm still, who's still sitting. So at least I've got that on him.
Okay.
With my 6'2" or whatever height, 6'1" or whatever. Shorter than Analia, but she's all the way over there, so they can't.
I like how an hour ago it was 6 foot, and now it's 6'1", 6'2".
Whatever.
6'2.5".
Listen, whatever counts as tall in your eyes. But yeah, try to loom over and say, "Excuse me, I've got a couple questions for y'all."
All right. Of this group of people, the biggest, the one who looks like he is both the tallest and the widest, he's one of the guys who looked up at you. He's against the wall. So the table and other guys are in between you and him. His skin is also kind of a grayish cast, not at the level that not the way that Brigid looked.
Got it.
Definitely within human normal, I suppose, range.
Okay.
And it looks very kind of rough, almost a pebbled texture. So he looks over at you, and then you were going to try and intimidate him?
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
Okay. So give me that D4 and your wild die.
All right. Let's see what we get. Come on, baby. Papa needs to not get his ass beat. I got a 4.
Okay. A 4 is a success. So you are imposing.
Nice.
Are you doing any sort of? Are you saying anything? Are you, like what is the approach? What is your stated goal here?
So my goal here is, given what I heard from them talking, I don't think that I don't think that they're necessarily involved in what happened with William, but they're up to something shady. There's something involving a strike. I don't know all the details, but I definitely get that Pembroke badge up front as someone who looks into things and whatever. And I look at that guy and say, "Hey, I'm trying to get some information here. You seem like someone who wants to give me some information."
He looks to the right and to the left to the other guys here and says, "Hey, do I look like I'm looking to give this guy some information, and he, hits a guy on the shoulder, and there's some chuckling and some no's, and he's like, "I'm just trying to have some drinks with some friends here. You can see your way out."
Hmm. I don't move and say, "Listen, I could make this. We can all make this real complicated and real difficult for each other, or you could just answer a couple of questions and I can walk away."
Listen,
as they say, there's an easy way of doing this and there's a hard way.
Listen, One Eye. This ain't your place. This is my place. This ain't your conversation. This is my conversation. This ain't the easy way. This is my way. So why don't you take your friends and hit the highway? Like that? I'm a poet.
Take a Benny, Nick.
Is that loud enough? Is that loud enough to be heard from the bar?
No, I don't think this is shouting yet. This is the pre-fight posturing.
Mhm.
Oh, I just
where
wanted-
everyone's talking about how tough they are.
Oh, Analia would have laughed if she heard that. So
those guys are my friends. Hey, have you guys tried this? It's really good. I'm gonna get you some. Can I get them some of the what was it called?
Bud Light.
Get around for all my friends. All my friends get the Bud Light.
Do you?
It's the LaCroix of beers.
Oh, that's an insult to LaCroix.
Agreed.
I'm just fixing this guy with like the death stare. I'm not moving. I'm standing right here. It's like, if you want me to leave, it's going to go a lot easier if you answer a couple questions.
Okay. So you're saying that, and your approach is you're just trying to stare him down to make him break.
Yep.
Okay. I think that's going to be another intimidation check. I mean, I think this is just you're kind of trying to face this guy down in his seat of power, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm going to oppose this. Because I don't want to just impose a straight up penalty. I think that you've challenged him, and now he has to prove that he's the biggest badass.
Oh boy. Ooh.
Were those good oohs? Were those aces?
Those were no. Those I got a 5.
Okay.
5 and a 1. So.
Okay. I'm going to tell you that, this is what I'm going to do, because it's not fair for me to have all the information before I decide if I'm going to spend bennies and stuff. Oh, quick note. I, as the game master, also get bennies in this game that I have to use the same way you guys do.
Got it.
The way that my bennies work are I get 1 benny per player. So that's 4.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I get an additional benny for each wild card that I have. When I have a character who's a wild card, they have their own bennies that they can only spend on themselves. I can spend my bennies on anyone. I can spend them on a regular mook. I can spend them on one of my wild cards. That's fine. That's the only way I get bennies. I do not get bennies for saying something that cracks me up or cracks you up, anything like that.
Aww.
So I only get bennies from edges for my guys, or for those base ones that happen. But just to make sure that that's fair and everyone understands, I can also make some rerolls as well.
Aww.
On there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you that I rolled better than that.
All right. I'm going to take my bennies and I'm going to burn one of my 3 bennies here.
Fantastic.
And I roll both die again, right? The whole
Absolutely.
thing?
Yep. And the thing is that with your Benny, you can keep the better of whatever you rolled. So if this next roll comes up snake eyes, you do not have to take that critical fail. You can go ahead and fall back to the first position you have. There are some edges that let you have rerolls in the game. I don't know if anyone's taken those. Those rerolls are not bennies, and if you roll a crit fail on that reroll, you have to take that crit fail.
Got it.
So that's one of the differences between bennies and rerolls you get from edges.
I totally forgot. I took charisma, which I believe lets me reroll persuasion. So,
Oh, awesome. We
For
will come
next
back to
time.
that. We might be able to fit that into.
the drunker she gets, the more persuasive she is.
I have known people like that, so
I like it. I definitely like it. This one worked much better. I got a 6 and then rolled that again to get a 2, so that's an 8.
oh, fantastic. Okay, that's going to beat my 6. And I am not going to use a Benny for this. So the guy sort of looks you up and down and can see that you are a whole lot of that you're a certain amount of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
He's not sure he wants to get into right now.
Damn Skippy.
So he goes, all right, fine. What do you want? I'll give you 3 questions.
All right. Trying to find out what happened to William. Do you know these mooks who came to talk to him?
This is about Willem.
Yep.
Good guy. Those guys are nobodies. Never seen them around. Kind of gave everyone a look when they came in here.
Yeah.
And after looking around, they kind of went over to Willem. I talked to him afterwards, and he said it was fine.
Like what kind of look?
It's a little weird, and I would have been insulted if it had happened any other time. But you ever seen how a butcher looks up a side of cow? Like they were just looking where to stick the knife.
Got it. Anybody else have any problems with Willem?
Nah, he's a great guy, salt of the earth. Is he in trouble?
That's what we're here to find out. I don't care about whatever you guys are up to.
Do you have trouble with him and he cracks his knuckles? Or are you trying to get him out of some trouble?
Trying to get him out of trouble. Whatever trouble he's in, we're trying to get him home.
All right, good. He ain't been around for a while. Is this about that?
That's exactly what this is about.
Why didn't you say so? If this is about Willem, boys, I think we're all want to help, right? And there's a, yeah.
Well, glad to hear it. Just, next time you see the badge, maybe you don't jump to conclusions about what we're here for.
Yeah, all right. So what's going on? Is he okay?
That's what we're trying to find out. If that's all you know, if that's what you told me, everything you know, we'll just work with that.
Hey, I think Billy followed those guys for a little while. He might know a little bit more.
Billy? Which one's Billy?
Well, he ain't here yet, but he should come in tonight. But he said that he followed him for a little bit, and they didn't seem like they did anything wrong, other than they're not exactly the kind of guys we'd like to see in here again.
All right.
Me and my friends have certain standards, and these guys didn't meet them, if you know what I mean.
I think I do. If William's going to go hide out somewhere, do you any idea where he'd go to ground?
I can't imagine that his wife would have let him go anywhere but home.
Okay.
But honestly, everyone here thinks he's a great guy. Real salt of the earth, always trying to help people out. If he did need a hand, all he'd have to do is ask, and there'd be 30 guys here be ready to throw down for him.
All right.
Sorry, I'm going into Corey's voice here.
It's a lot of voices. All right.
Yeah. Look, there'd be 30, 40 regulars here who'd be at his side in a heartbeat.
All right. Anyone in particular? If he were in trouble, who would he go to first?
So I'd like to think he'd go to me.
Okay.
I mean, it was a little rocky when he first came in because, he's a big guy. But
yeah,
after I met him and heard him play, saw what he was all about, best friends.
All right. What's your name?
Nemo. You are?
Benton.
All right. He holds up a big, meaty hand across the table for you.
Shake.
Even though you are very resistant to pain, you can feel like the power of this guy's grip. And he's not going for the full bone crusher, but he's definitely showing that he's the big strong guy here.
Got it. All right.
Like that. So, it's like a step away from the bone crusher, just enough to show that he's got it if he needs it.
Yep. Got it. Well, I'm not going to let him show that it bothers me at all. I'm just going to say, all right, well, I'll leave you to your conversation. If you think of anything, or if this Billy shows up, just let him know we got a couple questions.
Yeah. What's Benton? What's your number? I'll have him give you a call.
I give him my card.
Okay. He holds it and kind of tries to do the fancy like where he flicks it, but he just basically bends it and then goes, and he shoves it into a pocket of like his jean jacket.
Excellent. And then I get the fuck out of here.
All right. So as you make your valiant retreat,
yep. Go back to my friends.
We're going to head over to Jason here. Silas, you walk towards the piano, and it's almost supernatural, but you're not picking up on any sort of like ley lines or mystical energy or anything like that. But it is clearly somebody loves this piano, and by reflection, even the kind of dingy rundown area around it seems more homey and cared for, and just there's something about it. It's not magic. It's just like that feeling of love.
Okay.
That this is obviously a prized possession. That like a little bit of dust has formed on it because it's been a couple of days since Willem has been here. But other than that, everything looks like virtually pristine.
Okay.
There is sort of like a faded velvet rope that goes all the way around, so it's on like the brass posts every 3 feet all the way around it, and a little cardboard sign on the front that says "for professional use only."
Yep.
On there.
However, I was given permission, so
we were given permission, but I just want that's as you walk up, that's what you see.
Okay. Before I touch anything, I want to cast Detect Arcana.
Okay.
And I have that with the limitation of touch, so it only costs me 1 power point to cast.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how else to cast a spell.
Okay.
What do I do?
So we'll do the mechanics in just a second, but I'd like for you to describe what this is like. You said it was touch, so you are reaching out to touch the piano?
No, I think it means touch, like the person who's going to be able to detect Arcana, Like I have to be able to touch them to cast on them because it seemed like, or is that, am I misinterpreting what the range is?
Yeah, I'll look it up real quick. Actually, do you have the page number? I think
I have it open. It says the range is smarts, and I was going to reduce that to touch, and I assumed that meant I could cast it on someone that far away.
It's more like the range of smarts is your smarts die, and it would be like an aura that would go around that would tell you, oh, magic is here, or I'm concealing this area, because I think you have the one that is both sides of it.
Okay.
So touch means you would have to like, I want to see if this thing's magical, and touch it.
Okay, then no, that's not good. So I'll spend the 2 power points to cast the spell. Okay. And I'll retcon that limitation if that's okay.
Yeah. As I said in session 0, we're going to work out some bugs where people go, oh, this didn't work the way I wanted it to.
Yeah.
The other thing that I need to define with you is the trapping. What does when you cast this spell, something happens. Yeah. And what you determine something happens is the way that spell will be locked in unless it gets changed later, which I mentioned off stream a little bit. But that can have like situational modifiers.
Okay.
So I just want to like discuss what that looks like. Even honestly, even if it's invisible, just we need to know going forward.
No, I think I know what it is. My question is, how fiddly should it be? Like, is it something that should take a minute, or is it something you could do in combat, or like what's the idea?
No. It can absolutely be in combat, so it's still a regular action. I'm going to like the way I describe trappings with Blythe is, let's say you had something that shoots a bolt of fire. Mm-hmm. That means that most of the time we're just going to go, hey, it's a bolt of fire, roll the damage, and this is what happens.
Sure.
But there might be some situations where there's a downpour, so I'm going to reduce your damage because this is a fire attack. Or you're swimming underwater, sorry, you can't shoot fire right now.
Sure.
Or, hey, there's a fuse across the room, and I'll let you light that with your fire attack because that makes sense in terms of the context. So for yours, since this isn't like an offensive thing, does the area glow? Do you hear ghostly music? How does it manifest, and can other people see it?
Yeah, I think what it is he's got all these different pockets in his trench coat, and one of them is a pocket with just like loose fairy dust, which really just looks like silver glitter. And he doesn't wear glasses, so I can't really do this properly. But he just does this across his eyes, and it makes like perfect eyeliner. Because it's magic, and eyeliner's fucking hard. At least I haven't gotten the hang of it still.
Okay.
So. I mean, it's taken me years, and I still mess it up.
Okay.
It's not so bad. It's not so bad. I
just need to do it like every day and get better at it.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
I'll show you how to do it.
Yeah, we might need a lesson because I've only had it done for me once, and that was terrifying.
I'm not in character, but I can't leave character. It's very weird.
I've gotten better at mascara. That's a little bit easier to put on.
It's easier for sure.
Okay, so Silas's trapping is that he has a little jar of fairy dust.
No, it's loose in his pocket.
Oh, I'm sorry. He has a pocket full of loose fairy dust.
Yeah.
That he has to take it, and then
he takes like
rubs over his eyes,
a pinch of that, and then like puts it on his fingers and does this, and then it just makes this perfect like silver glitter eyeliner.
Okay.
And he'll be able to detect arcana for.
Great. So other people can see that on you and know that you're wearing the silver eyeliner, silver glitter eyeliner, and something like, if for some reason you don't have your jacket, you don't have that pocket full of dust.
Yeah, and I would need at least one hand free too.
Right. That's kind of the way for most spellcasting anyway. Yeah. But yeah. But okay, cool. We can absolutely work with that. I'm not going to like, you don't have your jacket all the time. I promise I won't punish you for it, but it's something to consider just in case.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that. That's like a thing that could happen, is like his jacket got burned, or like what I think he's got a lot of spell components in these little pockets built into the coat, and Blythe, thank you for the gift of this long coat. It's like completely unlocked the character for me. I'm very happy about it. I was such a like trench coat goth in high school.
Are these?
I mean, I
are
own
these-
one somewhere.
You know, I always wanted to be, but every time I considered that I lived in Southern California, I was just like, I'm never gonna wear this giant coat.
Yeah,
I'm
I
never
lived in
gonna wear
Seattle, so I, in the height of '90s grunge,
Oh,
Oh,
my.
I had no
Trust me, I
hope.
know.
Yeah. So
I'm telling you that if the Harry Dresden books had come out when I was a teenager, I would have gone in 100% on that on that look. I already had one in a duster, but
all right.
okay,
I cast a spell about it.
Excellent. So as I recall, your magic, you have 10 power points.
Mm-hmm.
You're spending 2 to go ahead and cast this at range.
2 points.
2 points. So what you're going to do is you're going to roll your spellcasting skill and your wild.
Okay, so my skill is a D8, and my wild die is a 6. Okay, I got a 6.
6 on the wild
On
die
the
or on your
D8. Yeah, the D8.
Okay, that's good enough to activate the power. Still, it's a target of 4, so it goes ahead and activates. You reach into your pocket, you pull out the right amount of fairy dust, you smear it across your eyes, and now you can see into magic. Does Detect Arcana have what kind of
Let's see. It says allows the recipient to see and detect all supernatural persons, objects, and effects in sight. Includes invisible foes, enchantments on people or items, weird science devices, and so on. With a raise, the caster. Well, I didn't have a raise, so.
Okay. So there is nothing about the piano or that section that is registering as magic. It's registering any of those things for you.
Completely mundane piano.
Just like well-loved and sometimes inanimate objects can keep that feeling that someone has for them and show it off. And that's what's going on here. However, you can tell as you sort of out of the corner of your eye and then sort of looking around, every person in this bar is supernatural.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's not a big surprise.
No, but you have full confirmation there about that. And then including, of course, you're getting like the hot spots from Analia's gear. All of your companions are registering, which you're well familiar with their aura of how they appear. Give me just a straight up smarts roll.
Oh, okay. Was that 8 or 10? I was juggling my numbers around to get everything right. Okay, so smarts is 8, and do I have the wild die with? Is that with everything? Yep. Wild die is okay.
Yeah. The only time you won't have the wild die is if I tell you specifically, do not roll a wild die with that.
Okay. Well, I got another 2 and a 6, in fact. But these dice
fantastic.
I'm going to trade them out in case they're cheating. Okay.
Not only do you know that everyone else at the bar is supernatural, and this will also come as no surprise to you because the question asked on Twitter, every single one of them is aware.
Bum, bum, bum.
But just in case anyone didn't see that from before,
I've blown the case wide open.
Yeah. And you're getting like different flavors. It's not just like this is all werewolves.
Is there a werebear? Werebears are my favorite were.
100%. There's 2 werebears. Corey probably is a wereboar.
Boar. Okay. Yeah.
Boar. Over in the counter, over in the corner where you see Benton walking, probably actually still talking to at this point, maybe shaking his hand. The big guy back there, you're pretty sure that he's some kind of were shark, maybe.
Oh, awesome.
I was gonna ask if there was a were shark.
Street sharks. It's on. Is Covenant a coastal town?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Oh, that's right. We said it was LA-ish.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a walkable LA.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's some sort of mix of...
Which is good, because I can't drive.
No, you can just leap from place to place.
That's true. I can jump very far.
So yeah, like, this is not, you know, and since you came up with it, of course, you also get, Silas goes, oh, shift change. Got it.
Cool.
But by the way, I know that people listening at home probably, or listening to this later, probably don't care so much. But I did ask on Twitter for names for a bar where wares hang out, and the audience in Twitter gave phenomenal responses.
There were so many good ones.
It was so hard for me to choose. I'm going to tell you what my original idea was and why I asked for help here, just because I think that you should all have a good laugh. My name for the bar, before I got such great responses from everyone, was Mooney Tunes, because it's a ware piano bar.
Which is also funny
Acceptable.
because
Acceptable.
there is a real piano bar that actually has a name that fits this very well, which is Howl at the Moon.
Right.
Nice.
Oh, and I've been there. Why didn't I think of that? Of course. But
I'm going to look up pictures so I know where we are.
because you know, as you know, the good ideas don't happen when you're sitting down with your notebook trying to write out your story ideas.
Oh no.
Yeah.
But anyone, if you have decided to unlike and unsubscribe after my stupid joke, I totally understand.
Oh, no, it's a like and subscribe.
Yes.
Like and subscribe.
Which was also really good. Like, if this had been a hipster bar, I'd have done like and subscribe for sure.
Yeah. Hipster wares.
Oh god, I want to see that bar.
Yes.
Same. Spin-off series.
I'll write it down. They just play Werewolves of London all the time. His hair was perfect.
Okay, so there's nothing substantial about the piano's aura. It's not a magical device of any kind.
Correct.
No one was murdered inside of it.
No, but you have been giving it a lot of, well, I don't know about that. They haven't been murdered magically. You have been giving a good once over, so go ahead and give me a notice roll, please.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and by the way, I did end up dropping the Investigator edge, so I just have regular notice rolls. I'll pick it up later. I'm going to use a Benny. I can only spend a Benny once, right?
Incorrect. You can continue to spend bennies as long as you have bennies to spend.
Okay, well, I'm spending another one because I'm checking this thing. I want to make sure it's all right. Okay, there's a 5.
Okay, fantastic.
Not on the wild. Does it matter if the success is on the wild die?
For stuff like this, no.
Okay.
There are occasions where it does matter, but I don't. Those usually pertain to weird background edges and stuff like that. So for just a standard roll, no, you're fine.
Okay.
Wedged under the edge of where the piano folds up. So there's like the big long piano hinge. The cover for the keys goes up. Wedged underneath that, there is a small piece of purple cloth.
Under the bench, you said?
No, on on a baby grand piano, there's the part that protects the keys.
Oh, that comes down over the keys, right? Okay.
Yeah, and then when you play, that part goes up. It's in the up position right now, as if Willem was going to be coming back any minute.
Okay.
And sort of like at the edge, right beside where it joins the rest of the piano, you see a tiny little scrap of purple cloth that's sticking out.
Okay, I'm gonna tug on that and see, like, is it or is it just gonna like pop out, or is it like, I don't want to rip it. That's, I'm trying to be careful.
Sure. Yeah, you're able to kind of wiggle it out. It's sort of a rough purple cloth. It's not like it's smoother than canvas, but it is rougher than like a cotton shirt would be.
Oh, okay.
So it's somewhere in between there. It's like,
So probably not clothing.
not clothing that you'd want to wear all the time or
Yeah.
be right next to.
Oh, I see.
Like that.
Like a fancy jacket, maybe.
Something. Although, like, it's not quite like wearing a jacket out of this material would be. Speaking to Jason, not to Silas, would be weird because it wouldn't be a fabric that you'd think would be nice enough to be made into a jacket.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's like too coarse for that.
Yeah.
But it's not so coarse that you would consider it canvas or denim or something like that.
Maybe it's from his dice bag.
But it's not. Yes, exactly. It's like a perfect dice bag material.
Okay.
Tough, but not unwieldy.
He was in a rush to get to his gaming session.
It's been an epic session and it's
Yeah.
been going for 6 days.
That's a normal thing that makes sense to me. Okay. Well, I think I've got this piece of fabric, and I'm really just gonna think about it for a minute. So I set it on that space above the keys, and I'm gonna sit down. Actually, I'm gonna look in the piano bench. Is there anything stored in there?
There's some books of sheet music,
Oh,
like a couple of different songs, and they're all pretty dog-eared and well used.
okay. I think I'm gonna maybe look at some of the ones on top and see if there's like a crowd favorite just from how much it's been used, and put that on the holder and take a shot at it.
Sure. I didn't expect anyone to play the piano, so I didn't prepare what the house favorite is for it. But you go ahead and you start to play. Do two things for me, please. Make a performance roll,
Mm-hmm.
and then let me know how many successes you get on that.
Okay, now let me ask you this. I have charismatic, which lets me re-roll performance rolls. Is that one of the things where I have to take the new roll?
You don't have to take the new roll unless it's a critical failure.
Oh,
So the only time you have to take it is if it's Snake Eyes. So this edge, it gives you that free reroll, but there's a small amount of risk in that there's, whatever the computational odds are of the particular dice you're rolling,
yeah. Okay,
getting a really bad result.
well, I'm going to go for it.
Okay. So what was your first roll?
A 5, but now
Okay.
I got a 6 on my D6 and a 4 on my D4.
Then roll them both again.
Okay. Oh, I got another 6.
Wow.
But the
okay.
D4 ended at 7 plus 1 is 8. And 6 plus 6 plus 3 is 15 on this. And plus 1 is 16. So
Okay, the plus one is from what?
the attractive. I have plus 1 to performance and persuasion rolls.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's a change from the older edition, but that's
Yeah.
fine. Okay.
It applies to. I think it applies to my voice as well. I have an attractive voice.
Okay. So that was, if I recall correctly, that was a total of 16.
16.
Was your best result there?
Uh-huh.
In essence, a
Sorry, I'll try to do better next time.
yeah, a success and 3 raises. I think you're doing fine.
Yeah.
You bust out this. It's clearly a drinking song. And you know what? It's a Scottish drinking song. that I'm sure exists and I'm sure can be played on piano for some reason,
Mm-hmm.
At least in this universe. And it's lively. It's like the perfect song the way you're playing it. It inspires these sort of feelings of camaraderie
Mm-hmm.
and melancholy and triumph and loss and all of the things that a good drinking song should make you feel, the ups and the downs, the highs and the lows. And you can hear as you play the other patrons like sort of when you started there was kind of like a little bit of like everyone went quiet and stared at you because there was this outrage like how dare you touch Willem's piano.
Yeah, they were annoyed.
And then as you get into it, like a bar, 3 bars in, you can see it's working its magic. Everybody is just loving it.
I do that.
People start to sing.
There's like a live music trick where you can pitch your voice to make it clear you want everyone to sing along with you. And, I try to bring everyone in on the chorus.
And they join in 100%. They're not great singers, but they're enthusiastic, and you can tell that they love it. There's one guy who's weeping a little bit in the corner. You've totally won them over with this,
okay.
And you did so well. I'm not even going to make you make a notice roll. As you play, and this amazing feeling is coming out. Along the edge of the bit of purple fabric, you see a couple of, for lack of a better word, I'm going to call them sigils that kind of light up. And in your arcane sight, you can see that this is coming through, that this magic that had been hidden is being exposed by this music.
Aha.
And I will
Zutro.
I'll describe some of what the sigils look like. Doesn't matter right now, but
magic
like
symbols.
So you're doing all of that. Zoe, back at the bar.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have you bought a round of Bud Light for everybody.
For everybody.
and that's arriving about the time that Benton is coming back to join you. You saw Corey serve Analia the Hellion whiskey, and sort of like nod and acknowledge her flattery of the thing. And as you are before Silas's music start, did you have any other interaction that you wanted to do, or anything else that you wanted to say?
I want to re-roll that persuasion roll. That's
Please do.
All right. Oh, I got a 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you are as you're getting first time drinker wasted a little bit on your Bud Lights,
Yeah.
and topping off, you are becoming, I think that, feel free to veto this, but I think that you are maybe relaxing a little bit, and the while your magic is not very effective on the supernatural, I think that a little bit of that's leaking out, and you're becoming a little bit more attractive and interesting, and also, probably amusing in the like, oh, let's look at this kid get drunk for the first time, who doesn't know what the hell they're doing.
They lied to me about what drinking does.
Well, come into the world of Covenant. So you can tell that Corey is starting to warm up to you a little bit.
Yeah. I bet you have some great stories, Corey. Stories, Corey. Do you want to share any, maybe about Willem?
Well, I mean, if you work in a place long enough, you're going to end up with a bunch of stories about that. But I don't think you want to hear about the bar fights or anything that have happened here, or other kinds of going on. We once had Lon Chaney Jr. come in.
Oh, yeah. I thought Willem was a nice boy and didn't get in fights. He was a nice wolf boy.
Oh, not Willem. No, Willem's a great guy. Honestly, he's amazing. Like he's done a great job. He really kind of cleaned up the piano, made it look really nice. Brings in everybody. Everybody spends a little bit more and has a good time and fights less when he's playing. And it's one of the reasons I love having him around. But sometimes being a big guy can cause problems. Like when he met Nemo at first, there was a real kind of posturing about who is the biggest and the toughest. But Willem doesn't normally get involved in any of that kind of stuff.
It's really interesting. I think his wife did it, is my theory that I'm working on right now.
Analia's gonna slide on over there.
His wife did what? Is he okay? Is he dead?
Analia jumps in and is just like, he's just missing. We don't have any information on where he is, what his status is. We don't know if the wife did it. We don't know, or we don't know. We don't know. We don't know enough. That's why we're here. We're asking questions.
She got him an edible arrangement, and we're trying to deliver it.
Wait, what?
Like they got the fruit, and you eat it.
Wait, it wasn't pineapple, was it? He's allergic to pineapple.
That's a clue. Write that down, Analia. That's a clue.
I mean, I can't imagine he would have eaten it. He knows he's allergic to pineapple too, but I mean, his wife got him an edible arrangement, and
Analia's like, maybe at one point she has. I know there are issues with Brigid. Did he ever talk about their relationship? And she just also, can we get some water?
Can you serve her a Bud Light light?
Yeah, just give her some. Tell her it's vodka.
Bud heavy.
Yeah, I'm ready to move on to Bud medium. So when you bring up Brigid,
yeah,
Corey is, listen, I don't like her. Most of the people here don't like her. I don't understand how you can try and be something that you're not. And it's kind of offensive when she tries to push that worldview and taking that attitude. But Willem, God's love him, loves her, and she seems to love him too. I don't know how it works. I think she's a fucking bitch, but she ain't my wife. So the heart wants what the heart wants, right?
I tried to be a person, but I was a fairy, and that was weird. What was up with the wife, and what was she trying to be, and all that?
Well, you didn't see? I mean, you met her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She wouldn't eat any cereal.
or falafel.
Yeah.
You guys are in a weird office. She took the cure, or what they call the cure.
Oh.
I can't.
You don't
Listen.
have to
Listen.
talk about that if you don't want to.
This is just between this is a werebar, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Analia just kind of shrugs.
Being aware is who we are.
Mhm.
Sometimes we are. Sometimes we look like this. Sometimes we look like animals. We're always who we are. It's you can't deny that part of you that is you, even if it doesn't look like the way that other people look. Right?
I mean,
And
she
so
just kind of
and
motions.
and you get it, right? But she put herself in a situation to try and get by in the mundane world and deny the animal of who she is as part of it. The cure locks you in place. It locks you into being a human in form and function, and it's kind of a fuck you to everyone else.
Where could we get this cure?
Not to take it, just for scientific.
I think you've had enough.
No,
Hey,
I just know it's just like I can't take it. I'm, like this now. So I just want to look at it.
I study scientific things. I could probably do an analysis on what it is. That's it.
She's really smart, and I hit people. Like that's our thing.
She's also smart. She's just drunk.
Yes, I am.
all right, and she goes out to give you a fist bump.
Yeah.
But
come on, show me. I want to give you some respect knuckles.
Yeah. It's a little too hard, but
okay. So is this the I'm a little drunk, so I'm not moving the way that I think that I am exactly?
Yeah.
That's a little too strong.
It's not gonna like break her hand, but she might have to do.
All right, give me a strength roll.
Oh God, what's my strength? Let's see. Okay. Oh, it's a 2. So yeah.
All right. Corey bumps knuckles with you and then like goes, oh yeah, you really put the hit on someone, and kind of looks over at Analia and winks.
Analia kind of smiles like, yeah.
Yeah, you're a real bruiser, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I once hit a girl with a soccer ball and she flew into the stands. That really happened.
Yeah, I'm sure. You bet.
Yeah.
About this time, I think Benton comes back to the bar, and also suddenly you start hearing music, and Silas is playing this drinking song, and he's reading along with the music, and everyone in the bar kind of stops and then gets misty-eyed, and their voices swell, and they're singing along with him, and it is honestly, it's beautiful. Like, I don't know if you guys have heard Silas perform before, but he is apparently a very talented pianist, and he's killing it. So the song goes on for like 10 minutes, because every time he starts to get to the to the wind down, everyone goes, ah! And so he gives them another round and chorus through. But eventually, I assume, Silas, I'm not placing actions on you. You're gonna let the song end. And fade out.
I don't think it'd even go 10 minutes, but that's fine if it's 10 minutes. We'll just yep.
Well, however long. I was just trying to be like, you don't have a drinking song that lasts 2 minutes because no one has chance to drink to it.
Right. No. I mean, my goal was, 1, I wanted to see if the piano was magic. 2, to show off because that's what I do. And 3, to see if I could elicit any kind of emotion from the group because I'm a little peckish, and I wouldn't mind if there was some feels.
There is, but like Zoe, you're not getting full from it.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's it's like 6 Pringles.
Yeah. You just leave you wanting more. Yeah.
It's a snack. There's something there, but it's not like, oh man, I'd have to graze on this all day to get filled up.
The serving size is 1 can, right? Is that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's my understanding.
That's great. Me too.
Or 2.
Yeah. Why not have to? It's only 2 servings. I mean.
Yeah,
So there's like everyone is like there's some hooting and hollering and people are happy. They're cheering. There's some calls for another song. A couple people are calling out their favorites on there. One of the singletons comes over and says like, that was beautiful. I haven't heard anything like that since Willem.
Oh, that's my pleasure. Do you know Willem very well?
He's here most nights. Just really makes you feel, man.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm glad to hear that. That's a nice piano.
Sure.
Well, you take care.
Yeah. You too. Watch those fingers.
All right. I'll go back to the bar where everyone else is.
Cool.
And I have the little scrap of cloth with me. I took that with me.
I figured that went into one of your many pockets.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Coat of many pockets.
Corey is like literally jaw down and pushes her jaw back up. That was incredible. I haven't heard anything like that since Willem. I mean, you guys are here to find him, right? And take care of him. Something about a fruit basket or poison or something.
Was there a basket? I'm like looking at my colleagues.
Analia's like, no.
Oh,
just doing that like motion of,
right,
and points to Zoe of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Silas, we're telling a lie to get some more clues.
Yeah, okay.
We got some good clues.
I've got an idea. How about Zoe and I go look out in the alleyway out back for other clues?
Maybe get some water.
Yeah. We'll take
Let's go look
bottle
for
of water.
David. I think he's back there.
He might be, and we wouldn't want him just wandering around lost.
No, yeah.
So,
Benton, did you find out anything from talking to those dudes over there?
Not much. I mean, more of what we'd heard. Apparently, there's someone named Billy. Corey, do you know someone named Billy who's a regular here who may have followed the guys who talked to Willem?
Oh yeah, Billy Three Toes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
why is he called that?
Because he wears a necklace with 3 toes on it.
That's gross. Okay, I wish I hadn't asked.
Yeah. There was not going to be a good answer to that question, but anyway.
I don't know why I did. This is in character. I'm just.
Sorry, I just love, like, in my head, I just went, his name's Billy Three Toes. And if he asks, it's going to be because he wears 3 toes on his necklace. And that like thought all occurred to me like 2 seconds before you asked. And it was great. I just loved it. Yeah, because he wears 3 toes on his on a necklace around his neck.
Yep.
I have regrets.
Yeah, he's he'll probably be in about 8-9 o'clock
okay.
tonight. He I wouldn't exactly call him a regular, but he's not unknown either.
All right.
Frankly, not my favorite guy. Not a great tipper, but you know, he's welcome here.
All right.
Is he aware?
Oh yeah.
Do you know what species?
Aware of what?
Thank you.
Some kind of lizard. I don't know. Not everyone likes to share.
All right.
Yeah, I realize that's probably a personal question. Sorry. I haven't met a lot of were folk, so anyway, it was nice to meet you. And
Is he more of a software or a hardware?
No.
All right,
Aware.
I would be an absolute hypocrite if I did not give you a penny for that.
yeah, Blythe, I'm glad to have met you. This is to the betterment of mankind.
Oh no, it's gonna be a very long game. Oh my.
Taking your question literally, Corey answers. Kind of a slinky, if you know what I mean. I wouldn't call him hard. I wouldn't call him soft. Kind of not there. I don't want to say slimy, but you know, like none of us think the necklace is cool, and he thinks that's showing that he's a real hard case. But
Okay.
I wouldn't put money on him in any kind of a fight. You know, but he's welcome to come into shift change as long as he doesn't break the law.
Got it.
Okay. So you didn't see Willem leave with anyone Sunday night. He just left on his own at a normal time like he always does?
Yeah, I mean, everything seemed fine. He did a regular set, hung out afterwards for a little while, turned down the drinks that a couple people tried to buy him, like usual. And then
he usually doesn't drink?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, you know, just walked on home the way he was gonna. He's you know, we all know he's a softie, and sometimes we'll keep an eye on him for a couple of blocks while he heads home. But he's big enough that most people don't want to mess with him if they see him. Sometimes his wife will come pick him up, but not on Sunday. He walked home like usual.
Okay. Well, Analia, you have the home address, right?
Yeah.
So we could probably look up on a city map and draw a line from here to that and try
She
to...
pulls out her phone and just starts
don't.
mapping
They're gonna
the
know
two
where we are.
addresses.
Why are you don't have to
And
do
then
it.
it's like...
I have a city map, and he's like unfolding the AAA map.
Oh god.
We can
A full triptych.
yeah.
No, oh, you have. I think if I could say, I think you have like the Covenant version of a Thomas Guide.
Well, I was thinking that's a pretty thick thing to have in your pocket, right? Like that was a big book.
All right, hey, if you want to have like the big 18-fold map that you have to.
What if you just like ripped out a bunch of pages from the Thomas guides? You have to like pull them out.
Oh yeah, that's better. Yeah. Thank you for that. Yep. No. I know where they are. They're in order. Hold on. What? Oh no, that doesn't go there. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I'm like rebuilding it on the bar.
They're not.
Analia just pulls out, has the map open, and is just like puts on the walking directions.
Aha. So here we are now. Okay. See? And then okay,
Right here.
well, now they're going to follow us. I guess that's
The Fae always know where you are. That's
yeah,
just how that
because you're
works.
using that.
No, they didn't create the internet, I promise.
I have proof.
And she's just like, okay, do you know which blocks he typically walked, or do you know about which route he would go? You said you would watch him sometimes for the first few blocks. And she like has the map open and zooms in and is like,
I don't know after the first 2 blocks, but he definitely walks west.
okay.
He said he likes to look at the statue in the park.
Statue in the park? Which park?
Oh,
Is it a
The-
landmark on the map?
I mean, it's called a park,
That's
but I mean, you kind of probably.
it's a Pokemon gym.
Yeah. What do Pokemon look like in a world that has supernatural wares and
Oh
other
my god.
fantasy creatures running around? Are they all just like completely normal?
Yep. Just normal.
just like stick people. Stick
Just
man, I
cats and-
choose you.
Just cats and dogs. That's
Other
it. Just
stick
regular,
man, I choose
regular
you.
animals.
Corey says that about 2 blocks west, there's like a vacant lot, and depending on where you guys came from, you might have seen it and probably didn't mark it as anything special, but it's overgrown. There's no construction or anything on it. Corey kind of points out where it would be on the map, and says some of the local kids like to bolt some stuff together. Put some things out. The city comes out and takes them down every once in a while. But when they're up, there's something like I guess you'd kind of call it like a mural, but it's a mural out of statues that are kind of found materials most of the time. And when they're up, Willem likes to stop and take a look at them sometimes before he heads home.
Okay. Let me ask you, Corey, does this fabric look like anything that Willem usually has on him?
I've never seen anything like that.
He doesn't have like a purple
I've never seen
jacket?
him wear. I've never seen him wear anything like
Yeah,
that.
okay.
Mm.
No, that's fine.
Did one of the people who talked to him wear anything like that? The normies?
Not that I saw, but there was a lot of people that night. I was tending bar.
Mm.
Okay. I think we're good here. What is
Yeah.
everyone else thinking?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm thinking we should head over to the statue, see if we can pick up the trail.
Yeah, and also a bottle of water and some fresh air for some of us was probably
Uh,
a good idea.
Are you sure you don't want one more?
I'd
no,
love a
you're
bottle. You know what's cool? Bottles of water. I
Yep,
think
bottles of water.
Oh, but we gotta wait for David. He wants to meet all you guys.
here we
We
can text him, and I have a flip phone. Like, do you want to?
I'll text him.
You should
Yes.
drop him a pin.
I'll drop him a pin. Just give me his number.
Yeah. Okay, here you go.
Yeah. So she just takes your phone and you unlock and it's like drops the pin to him. There you go.
You're kind of my best friend, Analia. I don't know if you know that.
I love you too,
Oh,
Zoe.
that's sweet.
I love you. Thank you.
And
Also,
I
pick up a
think
Gatorade on the way over.
Yeah, we'll stop at 7-Eleven.
Yep, definitely. Lots
Cool.
of hydration.
Maybe the fantasy 7-Eleven is 8-12.
And I think with that, we can probably draw a veil on the night and roll the credits as that were.
Oh,
unless
is there a
anyone else
wild
has
die with that, or
anything, yeah. Unless anyone else has anything else they need to talk about before we wrap up?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay. Then I guess we will call tonight, and I want to thank everyone for joining us. We have been Pembrooke Investigations on the Happy Jacks RPG Network, and we hope you had a good time watching as we had playing. At least I hope we all had a good time playing, and I hope you join us next Wednesday for our session 2. If you want to catch up on our session 0, or if you are listening to this post fact and want to catch up and actually watch my entertaining and fantastic co-players on this game, you can visit us at happyjacks.org/Pembroke, and you can also take a look at all of the other APs on the Happy Jacks network at happyjacks.org/shows. With that, I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to Jason. If you want to tell us a little bit about who you are and where else we can find you.
Hello, I'm Jason. I play here Wednesdays. On Fridays, I play on my stream. It's probably okay. Twitch.tv/It's Probably Okay. I play No Man's Sky for a couple hours with Sam Delev, and it's just very chill and nice and calm. I like that game a lot. It's very meditative. Saturday morning is our Return to the Spider-Verse game, also on It's Probably Okay, where we're playing in the Miles Morales universe and using Masks RPG to play that. It's a lot of fun. And my Sunday game here on Happy Jacks is going to wrap up on July 19th as our finale. So be sure to tune in for that. And otherwise, I also made a game, demigodspbta.com, if you want to check that out.
It's so good.
I mean, I liked it. It's I like how it turned out. It's weird to say good things about myself. Also, I was gonna say, if anyone wants to tweet at me, my tweeter is also at It's Probably Okay. And if any folks listening to this would like to tweet at me the portable instruments that Silas may have in his long coat. I would like to have a collection of things that aren't like harmonica and kazoo. This is all I can think of. So I bet y'all can think of something better. So if you tweet at me with that, I would appreciate it.
One of those party noisemakers that you spin.
Yeah.
All right, Emily.
Hi, I'm Emily Vanderwerf. I play this game every Wednesday, and every other Monday I'm in Great American Witch, which is wildly different tonally. So check that out. We are having some very heartfelt, lovely conversations, and occasionally really scary things happen. I also have, you can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/EmilyVDW. And I also have a scripted audio fiction podcast, Arden, which started its second season on Monday. I think it's a really good season of audio fiction. That's ARDEN on all podcast platforms.
Ooh, sounds great. Blythe?
Yes. Hi, I'm Blythe Kayla. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at BlytheKayla93. You can find me on my own YouTube channel, which is just Blythe Kayla. You can find me on Games We Never Play on Fridays when I drop the new episodes of Table Topical, where we talk about tabletop news. Hopefully you'll be able to find me somewhere on Mondays again soon. That's still up in the air, but if you follow Star Trek Perseverance on Twitter at FCRD12, you can find out more details about that. And then, every Wednesdays, I'm here on Happy Jacks playing this game. I'm very curious to see where things are going to go, and I suspect things are going to get very twisty.
Great. And Jay?
Hi, you can find me on the Twitters at jholtham is my Twitter handle. And that's where I do various things and say various things. And you can also find me on Fridays streaming with 12-Sided Stories, their Heliotrope campaign, which I'm very excited to get back to streaming this week.
Cool. I am Nick Levy, and you can find me at Sungrowler on Twitter and on Instagram, although I don't know why you would, because I don't post all that much. But occasionally I'm funny, or we'll ask questions about things I'm going to put into Pembroke. So if you enjoyed the show, follow me. Maybe you'll get to name a bar or some other place for the show. I am here every Wednesday as the game master, and periodically I show up other places, but nothing on the horizon. So again, hope you had a good time. Hope you had a good night, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. I'm going to jump out to the calendar here, and if you miss it or you're just listening, you can go check happyjacks.org/schedule to see everything that comes next. So see you next time.
I'll cut away from my weight.
If I told you the things I've seen on my ways, if I told you the things I've done in my days, you wouldn't believe me anyway. So it's best I just don't say. I've lived 1,000 lives, I piloted 1,000 souls, I killed and fought and died just for a single